All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. Another very lucrative weekend for the community, and all I can say is I wish the community was a lot bigger, and of course it would be if it wasn't for all the censorship and deletion of channels and shadow banning and the use of algorithms by these big tech Jesuit-controlled companies. And for people who are not familiar with the Jesuits, you're going to get real familiar with who they are this weekend, because by understanding the Jesuits, the rituals they're into, it helped pad a lot of people's pockets from calling another correct future with why Argentina would defeat France in the World Cup, as we called before the tournament began. Of course, you guys follow me on TFR. I had people calling in all the past year asking me who I thought would win the World Cup, and I kept saying it's probably going to be Argentina because it's the first ever World Cup in December, scheduled the day after Pope Francis' 86th birthday, and they won the World Cup in 86. And of course, it would make so much sense if the Argentinian Pope had his team win over France when he's Pope Francis, the first Jesuit when the Jesuits are from France. And how many times have I told you guys about Pope Francis being the first pope to live in Suite 201? The mainstream media had to tell you the day before the tournament began that Messi, the Messiah, is staying separate from the team, staying in hotel room 201. There's a reason they put that out there for you. And again, by understanding the meaning of these numbers, things like Saturnalia, when the Pope's birthday is, paying attention to the Jesuit colleges the weekend of Saturnalia, who had the great Saturn rituals. We smashed sports from a million different angles. And again, I did title this video, Are Pro Sports Rigged? Are College Sports Rigged too? Again, in our community, we don't have any doubt about this, but I'm always trying to introduce the work to new audiences and skeptics, because I can't really believe that there are any skeptics in 2022 after what I've been demonstrating for the last decade. And again, I mean, the problem is a lot of people don't know because of all the censorship. But God, back in 2016, I thought I reached the whole sports watching world. Back then, videos used to get upwards of 1 million views before whatever they've done with the algorithms. Supposedly, my video on the World Cup yesterday only got 3.3K views. And it's funny, after the score was 3-3, France, the plus 33 international dialing code. But yeah, in 2016, that video would have easily had over 1 million views. It's the biggest sports event there is. So anyway, we're going to run over the NFL. We're going to run over the Toronto Warriors game where the Warriors got to 3-14 on the road yesterday, just like Curry's birthday, 3-14, where his daddy used to play for the team and met his wife there in Toronto. And Curry born on the 73rd day. The 73rd pro basketball season was Warriors-Raptors. And, of course, they even had a Toronto mass shooting to cap it off the day the Warriors upset the Raptors, like I've been teaching you guys all this year. News, sports, it's all scripted together. It's all done by these same Jesuit psychopaths that control your government, your coliseums, which are your sports leagues. All roads lead to Rome, like the Jesuits represent the Roman Catholic Church. But anyway, let's just run through the NFL week that was. So Thursday night football, if you're in part of my community, what I suggested was that the 49ers would win the game by 13 points. Now, they didn't exactly win the game by 13 points, but 13 ended up in the score. They won 21-13 and covered the spread. Why did I think they would win by 13? Well, the new quarterback, Brock Purdy, wears the number 13. And in his debut game, he beat the GOAT. And the NFL is so real, you guys, that the Mr. Irrelevant was favored in Vegas to beat the greatest of all time. That's how real the NFL is. That was last week. The same week, the 5-7 Lions were favored to beat the 10-2 Vikings, which, of course, the Lions did have the ritual to win that game, and they did. But anyway, last week, Purdy, number 13, rushed in the 13th points of the game versus the 49ers and won the 49ers their 13th home game over the Bucs all time. So we talked about how important 13 is. Of course, in Gematria, NFL equals 13, as does TNF, the acronym for Thursday Night Football. I thought we might see the Niners win by 13. And just to put it out there, pay attention to if Brock Purdy, finishes the year off perfect for the Niners and gets them to 13 wins. What would be interesting if he did that is his passer rating in the first game against the Bucs, his first career start, was 134. If the Niners do sweep the rest of the season, they are going to be 13-4 for the year. And again, it's all number games. So keep an eye on that. Again, I'll continue to look at the games each week and see if there's any red flags with that. But that was the speculation. And sure, they didn't quite win by 13, but the 13 was paid tribute to beating them 21-13. Vikings and Colts. What I advised for my community was if you're going to play this game, I did say this was a tight game, take the Colts with the points. The Colts were a 4-point underdog. They did cover the spread. The ATS numbers suggested they would cover the spread, and that's exactly what happened. And the Vikings, Kirk Cousins picked up his 71st career win, and the team got to 7-1 at home on 71-date numerology. Cousins also got his 42nd career home win, big Saturn number on Saturnalia. And just think about the ritual, you guys. Jeff Saturday becomes the Colts coach this year, replacing Frank Reich. And then on the first Saturday game of the season on Saturnalia, again, Saturday is named after Saturn. Saturnalia is the celebration of the planet Saturn, which involves human ritual sacrifice. Last year, the Colts lineman's son died on Saturnalia, 201 days after his birthday. The only two 2-0-1 teams in the entire NFL are Indianapolis and the Minnesota Vikings. They're the only two 2-0-1 teams in the whole NFL out of 32 teams. Saturn worship equals 2-0-1, just like the Jesuit order equals 2-0-1, like Jorge Mario Bergoglio equals 2-0-1, who's the first Jesuit pope, the current pope, who turned 86, the same day the Dolphins fell to 8-6 in prime time. But anyway, the Vikings had the numbers to win this game. And like I pointed out, if the Vikings won, they would end their losing streak of 6 games to the Colts, which they did, and Saturn's the 6th planet. Just like how the Raiders won in crazy fashion yesterday, ending their 6-game losing streak against the Patriots. But again, about Jeff Saturday replacing Frank Reich, this became the biggest comeback in NFL history. 33-point comeback, down 33-0 at halftime. Frank Reich, who was the coach of the Colts at the beginning of the year, who played for the Bills, who had the final game of this day, Frank Reich had the biggest comeback in NFL history prior. 32 points. NFL equals 32. 32 teams. 33 is a big number with Masonry. American football is credited to the Freemason Walter Camp. Modern Freemasonry is a Jesuit creation. Jesuits and Masons, the federal city, D.C. The Jesuits have been there the longest. The Masons have been there almost as long. Again, modern Freemasonry created by the Jesuits. They've both been there longer than the federal government. Think about that. Anyway, you had big Saturn numbers on this. One of the biggest Saturn numbers, arguably the biggest, is 93. 93. Minneapolis, Minnesota equals 93. It's the city on the 93rd meridian. The first game of the Saturnalia ritual is on the 93rd meridian after I've been teaching you guys about it for a decade now, about Saturn and 93 and where to choose the news and sports and history. Next game. Why did we like the Browns so much in the next game? It wasn't about take the points. It was just take the Browns to win. They're winning. Harbaugh is getting his 93rd career loss. And think about how symbolic it is. The old Browns team became the Ravens. I've been talking about how the Raven also equals 93, like Saturn, which the Ravens are named after. A lot of rituals over the years with the Ravens in 93. But just think about the odds of it. Harbaugh, who has this long career with the Ravens, just coincidentally is getting his 93rd career loss on Saturnalia against the Browns of all teams. Scores 13-3. Football has the Gematria 133. Of course, Ohio's the birthplace of football. 13 is also the 6th prime number. 6th prime number. Like how the Vikings snapped their 6-game losing streak to the Colts. Browns got their 6th win. Ravens fall to 9-5. Baltimore equals 95. Again, Gematria, if you're new here, based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. Also forwards and backwards with numerology. Football also equals 43. Browns equals 43. Or excuse me, Browns got to 4-3 at home. Just another football tribute. Football equals 133 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, 43 when you run it in reverse with numerology. You got a 13-3 score, 4-3 at home. Tribute to the birthplace of football, Saturnalia, the keeper of time. Anyhow, Bills and Dolphins. Love the Bills in this game to win the game. Dolphins fall to 8-6 on the Pope's 86th birthday. They fall to 3-5 away. Saturnalia equals 35. By the way, Matt Ryan became 3-5 versus the Vikings for his career against Saturnalia 35. Matt Ryan now has the biggest lead give up in Super Bowl history and in NFL regular season history. Matt Ryan, of course, Jesuit educated. He gave up the 25-point lead on 2/5 in the 97th NFL season, the 25th prime, the year they moved the touchback to 25 yards when Falcons equals 25. Again, if my channel had not been deleted from back then, you could go back and look at the video where I guaranteed Brady would win that Super Bowl. By the way, we've smashed all Super Bowl futures in the time I've been here. Smashed sports futures left and right, college and pro. Again, it's sad that I always felt sad for people who didn't find this work back in the day. For 5 years, I put out everything for free, picks, everything. And then after 5 years of doing it, put it behind a paywall because it was time. I got kicked out of my own profession. For people who don't know, I used to be a school teacher. They don't let me teach anymore because of the book I wrote. They act like I'm some great hate speaker for revealing how rigged the game is. That's what hate speech is. It's all politics. I just lost my video about the significance of I'm getting so much censorship on my old blog. Google's deleting everything right now, just taking down everything. But my documentation of the Christchurch, New Zealand shooting on the Ides of March got taken down for hate speech today. It's just like, it's been up since March 15, 2019. Anyway, a lot of stuff's getting taken down all the time. It's censorship. Be glad you came across this information right now before it gets deleted again, because surely it will. Anyhow, again, Saturn's the 6th planet. Bills get to 6-1 at home. 61 points scored in the game. The 18th prime number. Bills equals 18. Dolphins fall to 8-6. 3-5 away. You had 6s on both sides. Saturn, the 6th planet. Saturnalia games, no-brainers. Eagles were a no-brainer to win. I did think the Eagles were going to cover the spread in this game. It's always better when you have a ritual on both sides with the ATS that lines up. If you're gonna go with the ATS, and I only had it on one side, so you could argue that I was wrong there, that because the Eagles did not cover the spread. Falcons and Saints. I like the Saints this week. Why? They got to 4-4 at home. Saints equals 44. Remember when Tom Brady just got his 44th career comeback over the Saints in the fourth quarter? Remember that on Monday Night Football the other week, his last win. Both teams became 5-9. Atlanta, Georgia equals 59, big number in the city. Georgia also equals 44. You might recall the year that I put out the information that either the Packers or Falcons would be in Super Bowl 51. That's the one where Ryan gave up the 25-point lead on 2/5. I said it was all about 44 because Georgia and Wisconsin are the two 44 states. That ended up being the NFC Championship. Falcons won with 44 points. So it's a big number with Georgia as well, 44. You might recall last year, the Super Bowl on the 44th day of the year. First time that ever happened. Who won? Matt Stafford, the Georgia product, after Georgia beat Alabama in the championship. We called Georgia Alabama before week 2 of college football was played, why Georgia would beat Alabama. But yeah, Matt Stafford ends up winning the Super Bowl on the 44th day of the year. Matt Stafford equals 44 like Georgia. Getting a lot of Manchurians in college and pro sports, especially at the QB position. But anyway, Dalton also got his 47th home win this week. 47 is the 15th prime number. This was NFL Week 15. And the Falcons coach got his 19th career loss. Saints equals 19 in Gematria. You might recall when Sean Payton was the coach of the Saints, he was the first NFL coach with COVID-19. And the only other team with a 19 connection in the league is Seattle. Seattle equals 19. Only city I'm aware of in the world that equals 19. And where did COVID-19 start in the U.S.? That's right, in Seattle with the big old needle across the street from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Space Needle. Anyway, Lions and Jets. We like the Lions a lot this week. It was an even money line, good value. Why do we like the Lions? Because Jared Goff can get his 54th win. Jets equals 54 in Gematria when you run the alphabetic order forwards and when you run it backwards. There's not a lot of things that are the same forwards and backwards, but 54 is always a huge number at the Jets. Jared Goff gets his 54th win. When you run it in reverse numerology, Jets is 27. The Lions coach Dan Campbell stayed on 27 losses. We've been killing it with the Lions lately. They've had great rituals. Steelers and Panthers, I had the wrong lean on this game. I wasn't crazy about this game, but Tomlin's next win is his 160th. He picked it up in this game. His next game was against the Las Vegas Raiders, which happens to equal 160. And the trouble with that is sometimes the coach will pick up that win number that connects with that team and then go into that game, which we've seen happen plenty of times. And it happened here again. I was kind of hoping he would end up picking it up against the Raiders. But and Trubisky did have the numbers to win. Well, Trubisky's riddle could have gone either way. But yeah, not the craziest game of the week. But you could ultimately say I had the wrong lean on that game. Jaguars and Cowboys. I told my people put in 2 different bets for this game. I said put out 2 cards, one with the Jaguars to cover and the other with the Jaguars to win. Jaguars had an awesome riddle to win. And again, also the Saturnalia weekend, they did get their 6th win. But you see how the Cowboys fell to 3-3 away and the Jags got to 4-3 at home? Here, just because I'm not putting the calculator up there for the new person. There's multiple calculators online that calculate the same way. Again, this is based on the knowledge that I figured out by 2016. Many people have emulated the system and built calculators. Back in the day, everything was done by hand. But the most pure cipher out of the 4 base ciphers is the dark blue one, which is the alphabetic order with the rules numerology. And I want you to see that in this cipher, Jacksonville is 43, and so is Dallas Cowboys. And you might recall, I documented years ago, we had a big laugh about it. It was a Thanksgiving game for the Cowboys, and it was how they bought Ford. Notice how Ford in the most simple cipher is 43. They bought all new Ford pickup trucks for every member of Fire Station 43. And then they showed how their whole shot of the inside of Fire Station 43 was a torn up sofa. And they said it was the poorest fire station in the Dallas area. And it just looked like it was a total load of shit story, just advertising for Ford. And then, of course, and by the way, that was probably like 2015, actually, that happened. I didn't even know reverse gematria back then. So all I knew back then was Ford 43, Dallas Cowboys 43, okay? But at the end of 2016, when I realized the other half of the code was running the alphabetic order in reverse, notice how when you run it in reverse, Florida's 43. Notice how football's 43, right? Jacksonville, Florida, Tom Brady down to Florida at age 43, where he goes on to win the Super Bowl as the oldest quarterback in NFL history. But Jacksonville had that 4-3 at home, plus the chance to pick up the 6th win in the time of Saturnalia and get to 6-8. And again, planet is 68. Again, celebrating the planet Saturn. And for people who don't understand why in 1968 World Trade Center construction began, 911 made the national emergency dialing code, George W. Bush out of Yale, Skull and Bones, all this stuff. Well, not only is the word terror 68 and 94 forward, like the World Trade Centers opened on the 94th day of 73, but remember the 93 World Trade Center bombing, part of the ritual leading up to the big day, Saturn 93, the day Michael Douglas's Falling Down comes out, 9/11 Patriot Act, Patriots, the emergence of the New England Patriots. All of a sudden, they're no longer a dog shit football team. But anyway, this is why Jaguars had the numbers in the ATS to cover the spread too. So that was another thing going in their favor. That's why I said take a card with them to cover and then also take a card for them to win because they had a great narrative to win. The risk of them not winning was, you see how the Cowboys fell to 10-4? There was a chance that they could have improved to 11-3, and that's why it was also safer to take the points because Dallas is 1-1-3. But then again, Dallas is also 13, the 6th prime number, like they get the 6th win. Dallas also 41, the 13th prime number, the city established in 1841. And what was I going to say about Arlington, Texas? Oh, yeah, Arlington, Texas, where they play, is 179, the 41st prime. Okay. So the Chiefs and the Texans. Now, remember, in history, the Dallas Texans became the Kansas City Chiefs. If you didn't know that in football history, yes, it's true. Look it up. The Dallas Texans became the Kansas City Chiefs. So notice the Chiefs got to 11-3, right? This is something I said to watch this weekend. Dallas 1-1-3. I said it'd be interesting if the Chiefs and the Cowboys both became 11-3 this week. We'd have to think about that. And notice how both games are very similar, right? Man, the Texans nearly beat the Cowboys last week. Nearly beat the Chiefs this week. Man, that dog shit team is nearly beating the best teams in the NFL, the Any Given Sunday League. That's how they maintain the bullshit. But Mahomes became 62 away. I call that the Patrick Mahomes number. His name's 62. See how the Texans fell to 1-12? Huge number in Houston, 112. Houston's 112. They used to have the superstar Harden 112. Chiefs also has the 112. The year they won the Super Bowl 54, like there were 54 points in the game. The last episode of Ballers with The Rock, he bought the Chiefs in that show in the episode 112 days before the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. And Super Bowl, for the record, also has that 112. So Dallas Texans in history became the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the Chiefs become 11-3 like Dallas against the Texans. And also, by the way, 6-2 away. Houston, Texas is also 62. So is Patrick Mahomes. Okay. And notice that the Texans got their 6th home loss, right? Chiefs got their 6th away win. Again, Saturnalia goes from December 17th to December 23rd. So the Saturn numbers are there as well. The 6 is on both sides. And I suggested the Chiefs would win this game and not cover the spread because the ATS suggested they wouldn't win it. Just like last week, we thought the Cowboys would win the game and not cover the spread, which they didn't. And This week the Saturn numbers just made that. That's what's nice. That's why some weeks you make even way more money than normal, because you understand it's a special time like Saturnalia, and if you know the numbers associated with Saturn, you can just rob the piggy bank. Cardinals and Broncos, I felt quite confident that the Broncos would win this game and cover the spread, which they did. It was sick. When Mark Rippon's nephew, who's the starter this week for the Broncos, made his debut on Thursday Night Football, they had huge value in that game, and it was perfectly synced with Mark Rippon. That was another night we robbed the piggy bank. But it was synced with Mark Rippon. The ATS lined up on both sides. Here, both teams became 6-8 against the spread. You see on the most simple cipher, Denver 68. Last week, Mahomes got his 68th win versus Denver. And I think he got his 31st road win, if I remember right, too. 68th total win, 31st road win in the regular season, if I'm not mistaken. I know those numbers lined up for him. So, yeah, I felt real good about the Broncos. By the way, yesterday's call-in show reminded me why I stopped doing call-in shows, because there were a lot of new voices calling in with totally new decoding methods, going against my picks, a guy calling in with a bogus way that the Cardinals were going to win. And, again, it's why I stopped doing shows for a while, because it's just like people calling in that I don't think are serious. I think they're just trying to call in and cause confusion and go against my picks. It's like, just calling them with again, the Saints looked pretty good yesterday to win. And one guy called in and it seemed like he was helpful, but he had all these new random ways of decoding for why the Falcons were going to win. And like I said to him, I was like, well, again, 19 hits in almost every Saints game, and the Falcons coach can get the 19th loss, and Dalton get his 47th win in week 15, or 47th home win, the 15th prime, and the 5-9 things there. And it's also Pope Francis's birthday weekend, who's Mr. 59, who's blessed. The only Super Bowl he blessed was on the 51st day of his age, which was Super Bowl 51, which the Falcons were in, and they lost. And, yeah, so, again, yesterday reminded me why I stopped doing call-in shows. By the way, just coming back to the Jaguars-Cowboys game, 74 points in that game. Take a look. Jacksonville, 74 in reverse, and that same cipher, Dallas Cowboys, 74. And that's the value of running it forwards and backwards. 43 forwards, 74 in reverse. They're 4-3 at home, 74 points. And then Raiders-Patriots. I warned people that this game was close, but I said because it's the Saturn weekend, Raiders can get that 6th win, end the losing streak at 6, Saturn the 6th planet, and get to 4-2 at home when Saturn's 42. And that's what they did. But the reason that game was risky is because a number that's been playing hard in Vegas is 86. And the Patriots did have a narrative to get to 8-6. So, like I told you, though, if those Saturn numbers are hitting, and they were, probably go Raiders' way. And they also got to 6-8. 6-8 on the planet worshiping weekend. Chargers, I favored the Chargers to beat the Titans. Another game with a tight spread. The reason I like the Chargers, they got to 4-3 at home. It was the overlap number for the game. And again, notice Chargers and the most pure cipher 43. When you flip it around, Titans 43. Sometimes you got to think twice, though. The risk was Tennessee's 34. They could have fallen to 3-4, but usually when two teams share a number, again, it's a law of averages. Usually when two teams share a number, that's the number that will hit in the game possible when the matchup occurs. But just to give an example, a game I missed on last week, we had a good week last week, but a game I missed on last week was Sunday Night Football. Notice how Chargers is 43 and, Dolphins. They're playing the Dolphins. Now, I did predict at the beginning of the year the Dolphins would start the season 4-3, which they did, because not only is Dolphins 43, so is Yale, and they got the Yale coach. And for people who don't know, American football is credited to the Freemason, Walter Camp, who's a member of Yale Skull and Bones. But the 4-3 missed last week. And I started to think about why it missed, because there's always a reason. There's always a reason to the ritual. I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what it is? I saw it. And then it was also part of the reason I favored the Chargers this week. You see how LA's 13? LA's the big 13 city. In the time of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter, the lightning god, think about the Chargers. Remember when Gruden was still coaching the Raiders and there was supposedly a lightning storm in LA and there wasn't even any proof there was a lightning storm? But it was a primetime game with the Raiders and the Chargers, and Gruden was complaining about the long delay over the supposed lightning storm that there was no evidence of when they're playing inside of a covered stadium. But it's all just a ritual, paying tribute to the lightning bolt team who went on to win the game. And anyway, it's Jupiter, the lightning god, right? Rules Sagittarius. So the team with the Bolts, opposing teams went 1-3 against them in that period of time. Yesterday was the last game of Sagittarius. And once I realized that the loss last week, I was like, that's why they won. That's why the 43 thing broke. And I was looking ahead to next week. I was like, next week that 4-3 will likely hit. And it sure did. Now, Bengals and Bucks, Burrow got his 25th win. I wasn't crazy about this game either, but I was leaning more towards Brady. But again, it's hard to fade 25 in Tampa because it's the big number there. And notice I told you guys, Burrow has a huge thing with 34. Burrow loves this number 34. There's just so much 34 in Joe Burrow's life. It's crazy. And he wins with 34 over the GOATs. But Burrow's Mr. 34. You just go back and look through all of his box scores and stats and what he did at LSU. And last year, Mahomes became the 34th quarterback to win a Super Bowl at age 34 against Burrow. And it was all part of the Ukraine Bowl. Again, it's a lot to explain. It's all rigged by the same Jesuits. Has anyone seen any proof of a war? Every day we got headlines like, supposedly 30 drones shot down. According to this person, 10,000 Russian troops. It's just like, are you guys reading the headlines for this supposed war that we've seen no evidence of? I still remember at the beginning of the year when you had the CNN reporter on like a prop scene that looked like it was from Wag the Dog. And he's like, that right there is a dead body. And you could literally tell it was like one of those guys, you know, the guy who's never been with any woman and has the blow-up doll. It was like literally a blow-up bang doll on the ground on what looked like a movie set. And a guy said, that's a real dead body right there. I was like, wow, real dead body. For who would believe that? Like someone who's 2 years old? I don't think a 2-year-old would fall for it. I think that guy just got done with the blow-up doll, and it was all part of the ritual to see how dumb the people are watching CNN. But anyway, Burrow got the 25th win. Why was I leaning more towards Brady? Notice they stayed on 6 wins and became 6-8. The reason why is right here. He's destroyed the AFC North in his career. He was 17-1. I think it was at home. He was 17-1 at home versus the AFC North for his career. He could have got his 18th win on the 18th. And he also, what's the other one I'm missing? I forget what the other stat is I'm missing, but he could have become 15-6 in an important stat category against the Bengals. 15-6. And you know what? You know why I'm cursing? Well, the 18-1 would have made a lot of sense. But the thing is, like 15-6 is not like, had he been able to pick up his 156th win, that would have been a lot better. 15-6 is like 156, but it's not as good. And again, Burrow did get his 25th win over Tampa Bay. Okay. So in the Giants game, guess who got their 93rd loss last night as a coach? Ron Rivera, Saturn 93. Taylor Heineke, which kind of does sound like Hanukkah, he fell to 12-12 as a starter, losing with 12 points. And it looked like he really wanted to stay on 12 points because he could have made it into the end zone. The refs pulled a touchdown away. There was a massive pass interference call at the end of the game that didn't get called. But I've been teaching you guys about 12 and SNF for a long time. Heineke fell to 12-12 as a starter, losing with 12 points. Rivera got his 93rd loss. Notice also the Giants got their 21st win in NFL Week 15. 21st win. Saturn's 21 in the most pure cipher, which in terms of the Gematria ciphers is actually the value for Saturn that makes the most sense because 21 is the 6th triangular number, which means if you add 1 through 6, it equals 21. Again, Saturn's the 6th planet. On the day of Saturnalia, there were 2 games in the NBA where a 21 could get picked up. It was the Bucks surface record, and it was another team's head-to-head. Both 21s got hit on Saturnalia in the NBA. And again, Rivera gets his 93rd loss. Giants get the 21st win in the week. Heineke falls to 12-12 on SNF. And shout out to Jeremy White, who recorded this on Sunday Night Football. Oh, yeah, he also recorded when Matt Ryan in his 201st career game as he gave up a huge lead to the Cowboys, which we hit a monster parlay that day. We were all nervous because it looked like the Falcons were going to ruin our parlay. This is back when Matt Ryan was on the Falcons against the Cowboys. I was like, how is this happening? There's no way he's going to win this game. And then he didn't win it. Massive comeback by the Cowboys at the end against Matt Ryan. He gave up like 15 points in the fourth quarter. But yeah, it was Matt Ryan's 201st game. Huge number with the Jesuits. Again, he's Jesuit educated. That's another ritual that Jeremy White recorded. If you want to go back and watch that, it's laughable what they did with the 201 right before Ryan gave up the lead. But JHW3D, shout out to Jeremy White. He is he's the strongest body in the Gematria community, Jeremy White, stand-up individual. But he also documented this gym from Sunday Night Football from years ago. Let's go back and revisit the numerology lesson on 12. It's also a false teaching the way they teach it. I'll tell you what's wrong with it, but it's just hilarious that they did this. It was a game versus Rodgers. Again, just when they did this, it was lock city for Tom to win it. Notice how Tom's 12 in the most pure cipher. Aaron's not. It was the battle of the 12s, Aaron and Tom. Tom won this game after the numerology lesson on 12. But here, let's just go back and watch. People always come in, they're like, numerology, that's so dumb. And then they watch the game, not realizing how dumb they are. Isn't it just funny how dumb? Like, it's amazing how dumb the average human being is, and they think they're smart. It's just comical. It's comical. It's comical being an intelligent person in this world, just being like essentially floating over humanity. It's a sea of lemmings and losers, and just watching how dumb they are, but how smart they think they are, and how they call smart things dumb. It's an amazing experience. But notice the same retards who haven't figured out the incredibly embarrassing NFL is a total Hollywood script week after week. Like they sleep in a trance through this presentation of Sunday Night Football, and then they're on my video the next day being like, numerology, that's so dumb. It's like, were you paying attention last night, moron, at the million scripted things you should have saw in the game, and also what they did right before it began? Here, let's go back and revisit. Hold on. Hold on. I probably have to turn off this noise canceling thing. By the way, Conley RB, sit tight. I'll be with the people who join the stream soon. I just got to finish the presentation, but I think I got to turn off a setting so you guys can hear this. All right. This is a little bit quiet. It is a little bit quiet, so you might need to turn up your speaker here for this segment, but let's watch this real quick. Sunday Night Football, the numerology lesson at SNF in 12, which, again, paid its dues last night with Heineke falling to 12-12, losing with 12 points. Here we go.
Gillette Stadium, so much on the plate tonight for an appetizer. Down in the field of Michelle DuBois. Michelle.
Well, Al, for centuries, the number 12 has been used as a measuring stick. 12 months in a year, 12 eggs in a dozen. And in the case of tonight's 12s, you could say we're measuring greatness. In numerology, the number is quite special. The number 1 is a prime number and signifies the beginning and the singular nature of the universe. 2 is about seeing two sides of any situation, diplomacy, partnership, and the mutable nature of life. And if you're a 12 person, you're known as dynamic and energetic, unafraid of pushing boundaries. You're often at the center of the action, preferring to be around people, as well as assuming a leadership position. Ring a bell? And then there's this, Al. 12 is the most worn number by quarterbacks already in the Hall of Fame. Pro football's ultimate measuring stick. Eventually, Canton is going to have to make room for 2 more.
You bet, Michelle. Meanwhile, good news for Rodgers, who told us last night in our meeting he was going to try to play if the doctor said it was okay.
All right. So, again, we've talked about that a million times over the years. Shout out to Jeremy White who caught that and documented it. And again, you just saw it last night. You could see Washington and the refs help keep the score on 12 as Heineke falls to 12-12 as an NFL starter. That's why they're always saying they couldn't have scripted it any better. Maybe they didn't say on that one because it looked pretty ugly at the end by not calling the blatant PI. But here, let's come back to ESPN. Let's talk about college basketball and why a lot of people made a bundle on college basketball. Well, hold on. Let's real quick. NBA last night, it was the day leaving 13 days left in the year. 2 days in a row, we thought the Celtics had a good shot to upset the Magic as huge underdogs, and they did. Celtics are now 11-4. Indiana Pacers equals 114, who they'll host next. But yesterday left 13 days left in the year. The Raptors stayed on 13 wins, falling to 13-13 at home versus the Warriors. And again, Steph Curry born on Pi Day. Pi rituals left and right with Steph Curry. His team gets to 3-14 away in the city his dad used to play in. Basketball's a game on 5 of 5. They're saying there was a mass shooting in Toronto last night while the game was going on with 5 people killed. They said it happened at 7:20 p.m. Toronto equals 72. The date numerology was 72. The year Toronto beat the Warriors was the 72nd NBA anniversary season, but the 73rd pro basketball season. Curry's born on the 73rd day of the year, facing his daddy's team. And I've always talked about the Warriors in 106. Back when they played in Oracle, it was 106 feet tall. Nice big payout last night. Lakers pick up their 13th win in LA, the 13th city, on the day leaving 13 days left in the year, giving the Wizards their 13th road loss. Nuggets equals 93, get to 9-3 at home the weekend to Saturnalia. Wasn't crazy about every game, but the games that had the strong reads, if you took my advice on the dollar parlay for the Magic the last 2 days, you could have easily turned $1 into well over 50, between 50. That's the beauty of this knowledge. You can turn a $1 bill into $50 and $100 if you got 6 teams on there and you got a huge dog like the Magic. College basketball, we went crazy with the 93, and we said the best 93 rituals this weekend will be with the Jesuit schools, because we've documented the history. The Jesuits are a Saturnian order. It is the weekend of Saturnalia. It's the first Jesuit Pope's birthday. And I just want you to see this. There were 3 Jesuit schools this weekend who had 93 rituals, all underdogs. Gonzaga was only a 1-point underdog. Gonzaga, how come that's not coming up when I type it? Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong day. That's why it's not coming up. All right, hold on. All right, Gonzaga, 1-point underdog versus Alabama. They beat Alabama and improved to 9-3. Saturn 93. Saturnalia, the Pope's birthday. By the way, the founder of Gonzaga, Aloysius de... Oh, let me spell it right. Or who the school's named after, I should say. Aloysius de Gonzaga, 201. You see? 201. Also 75, like Catholic Church is 75. For the record, Minnesota Vikings, 75. Indianapolis, the 201 city. Indianapolis Colts, 75. I saw when the Vikings were still down 7 that I was like, yeah, I think they're going to finish the comeback, and there'll be 75 points in the game. Kirk Cousins got his 7th fourth quarter comeback of the year on the 17th. 17th is the 7th prime. Saturn does have 7 rings. But anyway, Gonzaga was a 1-point underdog, so good value, but not our best payout of the day. Our best was San Francisco, the Jesuit school, who won with 75 points, who was an 8.5-point underdog. 8.5-point underdog, that's a big payout right there with San Francisco. And then, if you scroll through these games, 93 just smashed. What is it, Duquesne? I always want to call it Duquesne. How do you spell the damn school's name? Notice both schools became 9-3. Again, 93 played all over. School like DePaul fell to 6-6. Again, Saturn, the 6th planet. Look for those Saturn numbers. They smashed on Saturnalia. But yesterday, our favorite team from the tournament last year, the Peacocks, St. Peter's, 5.5-point underdog. What happened to their opponent who was favored? Fell to 9-3 the weekend to Saturnalia. Our 3 Jesuit schools just smashing. And again, it's amazing that losers put out videos trying to dog my work in the last 2 March Madnesses. We killed both the last 2 March Madness tournaments. And, if you guys weren't there, I'm sorry you missed out, because people's pockets got so fat they had to buy MC Hammer pants to walk down the street. But again, just smashing like the 13-point dog upsets just left and right. Again, this knowledge, you guys, all of you guys who continue to not join the Patreon, who continue to leave comments like, I want to see more predictions for free. Again, sorry you weren't here for the 5 years where I didn't have anything left to prove. Killed 1 million futures, did primetime football. All the games, over 90% accuracy record week after week. People were shocked when I missed a game back then. Again, the pick percentage is still high. Still probably better than anyone else in the world. It's just like, listen to my callers. Who's turning $50 into $2,500 anywhere in the world of investments? A lot of people in my community are. You won't find that anywhere else. People are like, Zach's not a real handicapper. Never claimed to be a real handicapper. I see a guy trolling all over. Zach's a liar. He says he's a handicapper. He's not. You're a liar. You've never heard me ever say, I'm a handicapper. You know what? The best handicapper in the world makes jack shit for money. Has about a 1% return on his great handicapping skills. Who gives a shit? Handicapping. You know what I did? I changed the game. We don't need to handicap over here. Sometimes we can read the spread. We don't need to read the spread when we can nail a whole bunch of games, when we can pick 90% of games correctly so often. That's why so many people smash parlays and see what the overall major ritual is for the day. And then with the knowledge I give them, they go through and they use their own brain too. And they say, oh yeah, this game's got what he's talking about. Oh, I like this. You know, they also know a little about the team, so they have a little bit of extra knowledge. And they say, this is my parlay today. Boom, I did it again. Look at that. $50 is now $500. Look at that. $50 now $1,000. $50 is now $2,500. That's what you do when you hit big dogs, okay? You put 3 teams on a ticket, and 2 of them are in the neighborhood of 10-point dogs. That $5 parlay just became a whole lot more money. And then once you build up your bankroll enough, you can be like Johnny and Big Al, and you can throw a little more down. You can be like the Don Mata, throw a little bit more down. And the thing about, shout out to Don Mata, he's the best tipper in the community. That one of the only tippers in the community. Shout out to Big Al too. Big Al, those are probably 2 best tippers of all time in the community. Shout out to Juan, who just tipped $50. He said he owed me a tip for the first time. He said he normally tips me $1 a month. He just tipped $50. I appreciate it, Juan. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of people bragging to me about how much money they made this week. Thank you. Again, you guys, you should remember, I only charge you $5 a month. Would be nice if people tip better. And I'm sure, I'm not looking at the chat right now, but I can just imagine all the losers and lemmings and trolls and paid-for agents that harass me every day. Zach doesn't even bet on his own picks. Zach doesn't even... It's like, what's wrong with you retards? I live in a state where sports gambling is illegal. When I go down to Vegas, I do bet on my own picks. If sports gambling was legal here, believe me, I'd be betting a lot more on my own picks. You're not in my shoes. You don't have federal people coming to your house. You don't have the FBI coming to your house. You don't have auditors coming to your house. You don't have cars crashing through your house on Christmas Eve. You're not me. You're not the person who broke the code. You're not the person who's helped people win for 10 years. I'm sure there's somebody in a casino right now with my picture throwing darts at it. Fuck that guy. Cost us a lot of money again this weekend. Okay? All you guys who sit on the sidelines and can't find $5 to find out the truth, guess what? You probably cost yourself a whole shit ton of money by missing out on this whole NFL season. We've been torching the NFL all year, been torching NBA. I haven't done as much with, I haven't even really touched NHL this year. In the past, we've torched the NHL. Shout out to Luxy. I let Luxy do the NHL now. Part of the reason I don't do NHL is because that's Luxy's thing. I want people to support his Patreon. Shout out to Luxy. He does really great work with the NHL. Luxy_91. And, yeah, again, I used to do UFC. All of this knowledge applies to all these rigged sports leagues. I'm not going to tell you that every single UFC fight is rigged, but those ones at the top of the card, they sure are. They sure are. So, James Madison, 9-3. Anyway, I could go on there. I could go on to even more examples. If you guys really want to learn about this knowledge, go to my website, GematriaEffect.news. Scroll down this top pin post. I mean, you can buy the physical copy of my book, but I do make my book free for everybody. Download ebooks for free. You know, download them both. There's 2 ebooks there. They're big books. It's a lot of reading. You don't have to read all of it. If you read the first 100 pages of letters and numbers, it'll really get you warmed up to the idea of gematria and why the Cabal does this and Kabbalah and where it all comes from. And there's a chapter in there, Rig Sports by the Numbers, if you want to read that one for the sports enthusiast. Latest book, Number Games. You really should know it. A huge chapter on Kobe's death in there. And again, you guys, if people supported this movement like they should, and again, I 1,000,000% facts. You've never seen anybody in the history of the world get out on the street and drop truth bombs the way I do. You should have seen what we just did in New York City. Should have seen what we did in Oklahoma City. You should see what I do in Seattle. Should have seen what I did in my little tiny town of Yakima. Again, if you guys want to see me down in LA on the anniversary of Kobe, sweet lady gave me the green light if I want to fly down there for the day. Support the work. I want to see more people supporting the work. I did way too much this past year, traveling back and forth across the country several times, pounding payment cities, waking people up to the knowledge to see the support go way down as it did this year. I know it's tougher times and gas costs more. That probably caused a lot of people to drop off. But all I ever asked for was $1 a month. More people support $1 a month. We'll have way more resources, do way more things. If I'm not down in LA for the anniversary of Kobe, I will go down there this summer when Kobe Bryant Day rolls around. Part of me thinks that's a better time, but you know what? It does stay warm in LA for the most part. The weather's not too bad even in January. So, anyhow, you guys want to see me down there with the speaker set up and the mic and trying to wake that city up to what they really did to Kobe, killing him at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age while he's traveling from Catholic Mass. Some of you guys are probably like, he's not dead. He might not be dead. Anyway, just to explain the ritual of what they did, and then LeBron winning the finals exactly 41 weeks after his birthday. Like we said he would, the day he signed with the Lakers. People don't know, the day he signed with the Lakers, I put up the video. I said, watch, LeBron will win the Lakers' 17th championship in his 17th season, the big NBA number. Guess what N plus B plus A equals? 14 plus 2 plus 1. That's 17. It's funny. Sometimes I do that just to like see like how smart the person is I'm talking to. I'll be like, if you add up the letters of NBA, N's the 14th letter, B's the second, A's the first. They'll like look at me like dumbfounded, like I can't add that up. I'm just like, oh my god, floating above people. No wonder they can't figure out the sports game's rigged. Can't even add 3 numbers together. Anyway, download the books for free. That's where the link is. A lot of you guys are constantly asking me how you can donate. It's also here on the top pin post. It's also in the description of every video. When I'm on StreamYard, it's not at the bottom of the screen, but nearly every video is not on StreamYard, and it normally is scrolling. It's like nobody reads the scroll at the bottom of the screen when I do my normal stream that has like my P.O. box and how to donate and where to support my website. It's like nobody looks at that. Just do a study on like, do people pay attention to news tickers? Maybe nobody's reading the news ticker on anything. ESPN, CNN, maybe nobody's looking at those. Anyhow, let's go out to the debaters. We got one debater in the room. If you guys want to join the debate, it is that top pin post. One man stepped up to debate. Conley RB. Hold on. Let me switch the audio setting up real quick.
He had a great song.
Hey Zach, can you hear me?
Let me make sure that hey chat, can you guys hear him when he just said that? Can you guys hear him when he said that? I heard him, but I just want to make sure the sound's coming through right. Chat, does he sound okay? Go ahead and start talking. I think they hear you just fine. Go ahead. What's up?
Can you hear me? Cool.
Yeah.
My phone's gonna die. I was just gonna take like 10 minutes and I'll be back. If you just want to go to the next person.
You're the only one in here.
I'm the only one. Okay. Well, I just want to do a quick footnote, real quick. Did anybody talk about Messi and the fact he was staying in room 201 by himself down there at the World Cup?
Oh, I definitely brought it up at the beginning of the stream. Yeah,
cool.
They put that out on November 19th, the day leaving 42 days left in the year. Jesuit 42. Then they report every player gets $42,000 on the winning team. Saturn 42. Saturnalia ritual. I mean, it's just so obvious.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, that's all I had to say. Just wanted to talk about the 201 and Messi, and he was staying in room 201.
Yeah. And again, Reveal, have not read my book, Number Games. It's pretty much what the whole book's about. 201 and the Jesuits, and why Kobe he died, and then they buried him in Corona del Mar right before the coronavirus pandemic, which was declared 201 days after his last birthday. And again, it never ends. George Floyd killed in the massive 201 ritual, and Minneapolis, the original home of the Lakers, right before they win the finals. I mean, it just never ends.
Yeah, but it must just be a coincidence or something, you know? It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable that the whole English-speaking people in the world don't know about this knowledge, man. And again, that people continue to believe in the clowns like Joe Rogan and Alex Jones. Right. I mean, if people were legit, they'd be sharing my information every day.
They would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to call in about that. And that's pretty much it for you. I just appreciate everything you do, Zach. And if I hadn't found you, I wouldn't be awake to reality itself. So thanks again, man.
Whenever you guys say that to me, I don't accept that. Give yourself the credit that you listened. That was all you. Look at how 95% of humanity looks at this, scoffs, and walks away in 5 seconds.
Stupid, yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. See you.
Yeah, come on. What's up, Moneymaker?
Hey, what's going on, Chief?
Yeah, what's up?
Chilling. Yeah, I'm just just posted today. I wanted to ask because I'm definitely trying to understand more about historical significance of certain events or certain people to try to streamline that as far as my own personal decoding. Because I realize as you talk, there's a lot of things that I probably misunderstand about history or don't understand at all that allow you to kind of see the significance of certain numbers and their historical relevance, and then also the mythologies. Because sometimes I'm seen in different ciphers, like the Sumerian cipher. I remember, being in school and understanding the significance of the Sumerian people. So I'm like, okay, I didn't look into it much further than that. I guess I was just being intellectually lazy on that end, but I do realize that the mythologies play theme roles. They have thematic. It's almost thematic how these rituals play out, especially when there's like a certain part of the year where there's like upsets in every single, different sport. Like upsets don't happen frequently until certain parts of the year, or maybe Saturnalia rituals, or after the Shemitah, or after Rosh Hashanah. So those different things, I'm trying to piece that all together. But the more that you do mention it, the more I try to take notes. Like, okay, Zeus, god of thunder. If we're in the time of Jupiter, like how those connections add up and the significance to that. I didn't really have much else to put in. I just want to say that, but I do find that to be interesting when you do mention it.
Well, all I can say is we're both learning more. We're all learning more together, and the more we learn, the more it helps out with understanding. Because what we're looking at is occultists. I mean, that's what I started to realize when I was younger. It's like these people are into stuff that we don't know about, and that's why they get away with what they do. I mean, how many people in the world had any idea the Pope just turned 86 before Argentina
Right.
won? I guarantee almost no football fan even realized that. They'll probably
Yeah.
put out a story about it in some news publication somewhere that no one will read. How many people even know what Saturnalia is? I had no idea
Exactly.
I never heard of Saturnalia before I really started to get on my grind trying to figure out what these psychopaths were doing to us. This was a lot of this information. Gematria was a new thing to me in 2013. Saturnalia was a new thing. But right away when I started studying, I found out Saturn. Again, I just started to look at the famous occultists and the things they were into. I learned that
Okay, famous
a
occultist.
religion called Thelema that worshipped the number 93. And then he was
Mhm.
big into Saturn. And I said, oh, well, this is starting to make sense. Saturn equals 93 as a religion that worships this. Saturn's the keeper of time. Everything really is about time. All of this stuff we're doing are rituals in time. Every year this time comes around, it's this sports ritual.
Right.
Every 4 years at this, well, they switched up see, that's the thing you got to realize too. It's like, well, why would they switch up the time of the World Cup? They're like, well, it's because Qatar
Right.
got selected, so it's too hot there. So that's why. It's like, no, the reason they put it in Qatar to create this narrative and build a new stadium that equaled. You guys, you don't understand. Qatar equals 78, like Argentina also won in 78. The name of that stadium equals 44 in Argentina, like they won 44 years ago, like the manager's 44.
Right.
Again, he identified all this stuff before the tournament began, which is why it looks so good for Argentina. And RIP to Grant Wall, who died in the massive 44 ritual during the Argentina game, which was the championship 44 years ago, dead on the kill date with the 44 numerology when his name also equals 44. But again,
it's definitely a lot of connecting things that stem from an earlier historical significance that plays itself out over and over. Like,
right.
Of course, they may switch, like in the same saying that goes like history doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it may rhyme or something like that. Like it'll always be some sort of twist, and that's what I noticed. Like honestly, I had to follow your work for like a year or so just to watch these things play out, just so I can see the consistency before I started, trying to anticipate the pattern myself.
And now you're doing very well by understanding it. I mean, so you just like over the weekend, it sounded like you made about $30,000. How much have you made in the time you've been on this knowledge?
Well, in the last 30 days, it's been about 37,000.
Who's complaining about 37,000 in a month? Nice.
Not at all.
Nice.
That was literally annual salary and overtime and a half, a little bit. For me this year.
The average American probably makes about 40,000 before taxes. So I mean, yeah. Now, because you have gambling earnings, the big brother is going to be asking for a cut too. But
well, yeah, and I'm anticipating that too. I do a little bit of investing, which kind of opens me up to that proclivity to being like, okay, all right, if I do take profit, like if I am going to spend it on something, what would be something I could spend it on that would benefit me, as far as taxes or, different rebates like that. But no, it's definitely so. And just for the record, because I know this will be looked at in time, it was December 2nd, and some of the people did reach out to me. As a matter of fact, when I shouted out my Instagram, a lot of people hit me up, and I appreciate all of you. But it was Miami Heat. It was like a plus 280 underneath the Celtics on December 2nd. And at the same time, the Rockets, damn, I forgot. I think it's Rockets Warriors or Rockets somebody, but they were plus 500. And that was the same day Offset was in Miami at Club 11. He performed a song that in the same Latin gematria, which is why I brought it up earlier. Because when I did that own digging of myself, and I saw that the Latin gematria for the song that he performed, which was a tribute song, I think it was something like Long Live Memory or something like that. The word of the song matched Takeoff, who died, right? And then it also, synced up because Houston has a lot of matches with Miami and also the word heat. And I'd say one great feature, Gematria Nader 85, say what you want about the guy, but I find the tool helpful. Sometimes I can't tell the inconsistencies because I know you've been using it longer, but when I use find matches, it streamlines the process when I use it on the computer.
Oh yeah,
So
sure.
that's
No,
how I was able to do that.
that's the best tool on that calculator. Absolutely, I
Oh,
agree.
for sure. So it
Yeah.
was Miami Heat plus 280. I did a 2-team parlay with the Rockets. I hit that one because of the offset Miami ritual.
And for
And
people
then
that
it
weren't wrong, the
was
Rockets were
Argentina.
money maker.
Yeah.
And I gave it to the guys last weekend. The Rockets, every time Artemis 1 was in the news, the Rockets upset every single time. NASA, Rockets,
Even when I wanted to
we've been
bet
documenting
against
this
the
shit for years.
Rockets too. Yeah.
And also the takeoff thing. Also the day they captured Takeoff's
Right.
killer, 31 days
Yeah.
later, the big Houston number.
Oh, that's
Guess who
exactly what
upsets?
it was.
The Rockets upset.
That's exactly what it was. I'm glad you brought that
Yeah,
up because it was 31, and that's and I think it was Itachi Decodes, or maybe Chigozi that brought that up. Oh, and by the way, the other parlay that I hit to add up to that 37,000 total was 2 touchdown parlays and Dallas, money line. So and damn, I forgot the other number 13 and number 6 for Dallas. They both scored, but Itachi Decodes had that touchdown parlay for me. But that was right. I mean,
yeah.
it was that 31 that got me to look into it further myself. And then once I realized that he was actually in Miami, they were playing on the same night. I didn't look into the Artemis, instance, but I did my research and the song he performed matched with Miami Heat, Miami, Florida, I think Rockets as well. I was, I was just done at that point. I ended up putting about $950 down. I knew it was probably like too much than I really wanted to bet, but that one paid out 18. The 2 touchdown parlays with Dallas paid out about 5.5 plus the 1,000 that I put in. And then Argentina just now. Argentina just yesterday. So
Indeed.
so I
Great work.
appreciate it.
And I'm
I'll
sure
get
it was
off now.
Itachi.
But
Itachi does a lot of great
oh yeah, definitely shout out to Itachi. Especially for people who do like exotic touchdown home run parlays. Itachi, I have to give my props to him. He's definitely made me a lot of money in combination with your work as well. So sometimes, there may be a divergence on games and I'll look into it myself, but I've been able to use some of your work, especially with the World Series, combine it with Itachi's home run parlays for those particular, plus 400, 500 odds to boost up the return. And I can never say I went wrong. Definitely have to do my own due diligence at certain times, especially if it's a close game. Sometimes what I like to do is look at the local news reports in the area to see if there's anything that references, like if there's a local shooting. Sometimes I've seen local shootings in Miami match up with Miami score. Like for whatever reason, Miami decides not to score and they're down 44 points, going in 4 minutes left and, into halftime. I'm like, okay, it's just little odd things like that. But, I mean, I definitely got to say, I did send you a tip. Finally, I got my Cash App right. So I did send that to you.
Appreciate
But,
that.
yeah, man, have a good one.
Appreciate that. All right. Yeah. Take care, man. Thanks. Yeah. Shout out to Itachi. Itachi does great work. Sometimes I think he gets a little too abstract with his decodes. I remember one day I was like crying on Twitter, like the NBA is not doing it. I was just like, well, dude, you went against like the surface level standout thing that's been hitting all season. And anyway, Itachi does do great work, but sometimes I was like, I think you're getting too abstract with that decode. But yeah, what Itachi does is, again, he'll just like, look, he'll be like, you know what? This guy's next home run fits in perfectly with this date. He's like, that looks like the play of the day to me. Again, it's all number games, you guys. A lot of people in this community have learned the Itachis, the Lanes, the Big Owls, and they found their bread and butter. It sounds like that guy right there. He's newer to it. He's already potted his pockets, and he's starting to figure out more what he likes. Again, you guys, you learn this knowledge, which is my intention the whole time. Teach you the knowledge. I taught it for 5 years for free. Now just slightly more than, well, I still teach it for free. I mean, look at all the content I put out for free. But again, if you want the sports picks before the games, sometimes I'll throw one out for free. But again, it's only $5 a month. All you guys are like, oh, I want a free pick again before I try it out for $5. I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, man. If you're that much of a swine, I don't care about what you want. Stay out of the community. What's up, Reyes?
Hey, Zach, how you doing, brother? Can you hear me?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I can hear you.
Yeah. I found your work in January 2020 when Kobe died. And I've always been into the whole conspiracy thing and what's going on. I've seen them all. I've watched every person you can possibly think of that's out there. And none of them have led me to the truth than what you have brought to the table with Gematria. It has completely changed my life over the past 2 years. And I've come to realize something as well with it, that 9 out of every 10 people that you meet are fucking idiots. They're just stupid. If you can't grasp,
that's the way I do, man.
If you can't grasp A is 1, B is 2, C is 3 up to Z 26, and you put these letters and numbers together, you're a fucking moron. I mean, it's that easy. And I think the problem that we're having right now, especially in the community, is the fact that people do not want to admit that they're wrong. They can't come to grips with the fact that something is so real as Gematria comes out. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to give up their lifestyles of posting on Facebook, hey, look at us at Texas Roadhouse on a Friday night spending $150 on a steak that don't taste nearly as good than what you could do is if you cook it at home, because they want to post that shit. It's social status. That's the problem. And when they see somebody like you that comes out with this knowledge that is just undeniable, they look at it and they say, oh, no, that's wrong. Because why? They went and got vaccinated because they're the idiots that went and got that damn jab, and that we're the ones that are saying, no, you people are so stupid. They won't let go of their Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, rooting every single Sunday. Come on, Cowboys, let's go to the Super Bowl. It ain't going to happen. They won't give it up, Zach. And that's the problem we're having, man. And there's no way we can ever turn them around. It's impossible, because I got family that I've been trying to teach this to, and they all say the same thing. You're crazy, Reyes. You're the stupidest person I know. I'm sorry, because I've just showed you there was a 201 on TV. Here's 56%. Here's 47. The numbers don't lie. And that's what I try to explain to people. You cannot fake a number. It is impossible to fake a date to a date and then it matches up on a certain number. There's just no way. And I want to thank you personally from the bottom of my heart. I have both your books, and I've been following you literally every single thing. I don't do much chatting in there. I just sit back and listen, take a hit here and there and just watch and just be in awe. But there's just no turning it, man. So I don't care if people are out there saying that you work for the CIA, you work for the FBI, you make $50,000 a month. I don't care how much you make. You have brought the light to me, and you have inspired me to push back on all these people here, my doctors, anybody, when it comes to taxes, because I work for myself. I'm a landscaper. So I said, fuck doing 1099s. I don't care to file taxes. If they want to come get me, they can come get me, because it's bullshit, and I'm not going to fall in line with them. And no matter what happens, this channel right here, Zachary K. Hubbard and the GematriaEffectNews, is the real truth on what's going out there. And I have seen them and heard them all, Zach, for a long time, man. And you have brought me to the light, my friend. And I owe you. I'm like forever in debt to you, man. Forever. I just wanted to say my piece.
I always say, give yourself the credit. You guys got to give yourself the credit, because you said exactly what I said. And you found out the same truth that I found out after 9/11. People are dumb. They're caught up in their ego. They won't let go of the lies. They're so invested in the lies. They hate the truth. And that's also why I rant the way I do. People don't like that I say what I really think. The one thing I do not disagree with about the Illuminati is depopulation, and I wish they'd do it a lot quicker and a lot more severe, because that's when I look at people, and my idea is that if you hate the truth and you're so invested in this bullshit ass system that keeps us all enslaved, I want you to die so that this world can change, because it's not changing as long as it's full of these 90, like you said, 90% of these people are so invested in keeping this bullshit system alive. It's not changing as long as they're here. So they might as well just all die so we can get on to the goal. My goal is to change the world. I recognize I can't change the world when 90% of the population's these losers. All of you guys who think I'm wrong for saying that, I think it's because you're not awake enough. You haven't put yourself out there for the last 20-some years like I have. You don't know how asleep and against the truth these people are. You don't get it. You're part of the problem too. So, if that's your problem, get your bag and get it out of here, because I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong about that.
You're not. And you look at people like A Call for an Uprising. The guy hides behind the mirror. You don't see his face, and he's over here talking all kinds of stuff about this, that, and the other, and every God knows which way. Well, where are you? How come you can't show us who you are? You put yourself out there, Zach. You tell us the stories. You're there every day on the grind.
Do you know what happened between him and I in 2016?
I don't.
Do you know what happened between A Call for an Uprising and myself in 2016?
No, I don't. I know that you guys were getting into it, and he was calling about it. What is it, like a year ago, maybe, saying that he was going to ruin your life every single day, and all, but I don't know what happened in 2016.
Yeah. So again, A Call for an Uprising is another plant agent who, at the end of the day, just tells everybody to believe in Jesus, which is exactly what the Society of Jesus wants, to believe in your false Messiah. So you don't do anything yourself and just keep believing in a fairy tale, which is exactly what it is. For all you guys who can't accept that either, it's because you're part of the mind control system. Jesus, it's the Society of Jesus running the world. You think Jesus is the truth? A copy of a million other religions just like it that came before it? I mean, that's another thing that's amazing that people can't figure out, especially when you got clowns like A Call for an Uprising. But in 2016, he went on a campaign to trash me and say Gematria was the stupidest thing. And then him and I got into a debate, and the very next day, he put out a video saying he was retiring from YouTube because his whole community went against him. He got they just saw what a loser he was. So he disappeared for a month, but then he came back after he said he's going to retire. And he came back with like a 2-hour video about me, and he put out my public address and made up all these false stories about me, that I was a Mossad agent, and he had the proof I was Mossad. And because he has a channel that wasn't shadow banned like mine and had like for people who don't know, when A Call for Uprising started his channel, he had like 100,000 subs in 2 days. I mean, that's impossible if you're a legit truth speaker on YouTube. And then before long, he was up to 500,000. But because he had this huge audience and he was getting put out there and he was in everybody's feed, that's why so many people think I am Mossad and a Jew, an undercover Jew. It's because of him. And again, another guy who hides his face, his name, gets on there, spews a whole bunch of bullshit that leads nobody anywhere. I mean, he's not wrong about everything. I mean, there's a lot of things he says that are true because it's obvious. But at the end of the day, he's not giving him any real knowledge to understand or get ahead. And then he puts down the one person and slanders the one person who was on the tube, yours truly, who was putting out the truth. And then he was on there, that debate. I don't know if you know who Jeff C. is. He's dead now. But and a lot of people got mad at me because when Jeff C. died, I said, gives a shit, one less fucking loser in the world, and I still stand by that. But it was A Call for an Uprising and Jeff C. on the stream together, both debating me, and they both got their asses handed to them. That stream's still out there. If you search like Zachary K. Hubbard, A Call for an Uprising, Jeff C., somebody has it uploaded somewhere. You can go back and watch and see how they got destroyed and dismantled, and you'll understand why he retired the next day. And it's too bad he didn't stay gone, because all he's ever done is come back and pollute the community.
Yeah, and like I said, man, I mean, the people out there, they're not going to wake up, Zach, but that doesn't mean that, and I know you're not going to, you're going to continue to push for this because it's in you. We all see it. We all know. You're the greatest teacher I've ever seen, you know what I mean, or heard, because you deliver it proper, very well spoken. You've changed my life, man. And some people have gone away and they don't want to talk to me anymore because of it. And that's fine, and I've changed my career too. I used to be a truck driver. I used to drive over the road. I had a Class A CDL, gave it all up after I found right as Kobe died, right before coronavirus. I said, you know what? This is bullshit. This is insane. And then COVID hit in March 2020. Luckily, I wasn't driving at the time. And I started doing landscaping, just started doing something on my own and trying to make my own money. Fuck the government. Haven't paid taxes in 2 years. I don't give a shit. I didn't even get the stimulus money because I wasn't filing taxes. So I never even got that blood money. And I really don't care. And like I said, I don't give a damn how much money they say you make. You deserve it no matter what. If they're jealous of it, that's their problem. That's not yours. You shouldn't have that problem. Keep doing the work, man. This is the truth. This is the real deal. Gematria is no bullshit, man. This is the truth, dude. I've been wanting to call you. I've been building myself up. I had today off today, and I said, today's the day I'm going to talk to Mr. Hubbard, because you have really inspired me and you really have changed my life, man. This is the truth. It's real, man. Real.
Should I go down to LA on January 26th?
You know, honestly, Zach, I don't think you should. And to be quite honest, I think that people are like, well, go. They want you to go. But who's going to go show up with you? How many people are really going to want to do it? I want to do it. I want to go. Unfortunately, like I said, right now, my funds are kind of tied up in certain little areas, and it's a little difficult for me to get out there. I would love to pound pavement with you. I'm the type of guy, I don't give a damn. I'll get up and I'll go out there and I'll scream as loud as I can and talk or whatever it takes, calmly, loudly, violently, softly. But I don't think you should go down there. I think you should wait till August when it happens again. Get your stuff together, because there's too many eyes out there right now. I mean, and you know what's going to happen. YouTube's just going to censor everything. It's just going to turn into a whole fucking thing where the stream's messing up. We can't see it. Shuts off, shuts on. I mean, in my eyes, it's not worth going in January, but August, that might be a different story. Now, that might be conflicting with September 11th coming up right after that, going to New York. But LA might be one of those where you might want to wait. That's just my opinion. People might not like it and say, oh, no, Zach needs to go out there. Zach's doing the work. What do you want? What more do you guys want from him? He's out there. He traveled across the country to New York. You should have kept going. But I understand things happen. Life happens, and you have to look out for yourself. And I totally understand it and respect it. But you still had the balls to go out there. You still drove halfway across the country, or all the way across the country. And I know what it's like, because, like I said, I used to drive from San Antonio, Texas to Los Angeles, California once a week for 2 years. So I know what it takes to have to do that type of drive. And you have it. But if I was you, I wouldn't do it, man. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't do it. I'd back off and just keep doing the work. Maybe you can come up with something that day where you do some type of, long ass stream like you used to, the 6-8 hour streams, and just go all day. But going over there, I don't think it's a good idea for you. And then, not to say that nothing's going to happen to you. It's just not going to, it's going to be frustrating. It's going to piss you off even more. And I think you need to just kind of back off and find something else a little bit later after January to get out there and pound pavement somewhere. That's my opinion.
Okay, respect the feedback. I'll make my decision, but yeah, if I don't go, maybe that is what we'll do. We'll just stream all day about Kobe's death. Might reach more people that way anyway. So appreciate it.
I would agree with that. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm not going to tie you up anymore. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm going to try and get a hold of you a little more. The TFRs, anytime you open up the line, because I got a lot more to say, but this was just my way of saying thank you, Mr. Hubbard, no matter what. Thank you, and I appreciate you and all that you've done for me, at least.
Well, you're very welcome, and thanks for reaching out and speaking up today. It's good to know you're out there. Have a good one, friend. Thank you.
All right. You too. Take care.
All right, take care, man. That's it. All right, shout out to Reyes. We got Trevon, and then we got Jill up next. Trevon, what's up?
Yo, you can hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay. I wanted to know, what do you guys bet on? Do you bet on FanDuel when you bet on the games?
There's all sorts of places online that you can bet. So yeah, FanDuel is one of them.
Well, what would you recommend?
You got to see if it's legal in your state, though. It depends on your state. Some states, some sites are blocked. Some states, they're all blocked because it's illegal. So you got to try it out and see what works in your state. I used to recommend a certain site until we put them out of business. But yeah, FanDuel is one that a lot of people use.
Okay, because that's the one I mainly hear about, but I'm in Chicago.
Yeah, so check and see what's legal in Illinois and Chicago. But yeah, FanDuel's a legit website. They do pay. So
Okay. Also, I wanted to say, okay, so basically I'm doing a gaming channel. Well, I pretty much do a gaming channel on my YouTube. But I also have a podcast because I speak out on certain things. The way the world is going, I always felt the need to speak out on it. And now, I've gotten older and things have just gotten way too weird. And it's like I want to speak out on these things because like I don't agree with it. But some people have been telling me like, oh, when your platform gets bigger, they're gonna probably try to cancel you. And it's just like I considered these things, but I'm like, I can't just settle and just let these things go on without speaking on it. So it's like one part of me wants to say, okay, let me not do too much because I know how the cancel culture is, but at the same time, it's like I can't just sit around and not speak on these things.
you gotta fulfill what your inside tells you to do. And being real is always the best thing, but it will cost you money in an audience and you will be canceled. And that's why I've been deleted over 20 sometimes. But I keep doing it anyway. So again, I think that's what everyone should do. They want us to bow down to the censorship. If nobody bowed down, I think they'd have to stop censoring people because they'd be just like, we're not stopping anything. These people are going to continue no matter what. So
yeah, I feel like you gotta
right
set
idea.
an example, honestly.
Indeed. And if they delete you, just come right back. I do.
Yeah, because I want to make a living off of doing what I do, but also these people that grow big, they're not really the ones that speak out on certain things. So it's just like it's a fine line
The ones
between
that grow big,
what I'm trying to do.
yeah, to grow big on this platform, you got to be in with somebody. You got to be tied in with the secret societies. They're not letting people grow big if they're speaking the truth. That's all. I mean, that's the way the game works. So when I see a big channel, I already know. I'm like, they're not totally authentic. That one. So
Yeah. But I also left a comment. I don't know, you might have seen it. It was about the AI Dawn. I think it's a website called AI Dawn, and people are basically sending their pictures through to get like basically a AI drawn picture of themselves, and everybody's been posting. It's a big trend on Facebook. And I just thought like, wow, like they're really training their AI with the pictures that y'all are sending through. And I think you pay like $5 to get these pictures drawn, but everybody's doing it. And it's like, people are going to follow the trends regardless, because of course it's a trend and everybody just falls in line with it. I'm just like, okay, it's just so like, it just hurt to see everybody just fall in line. And it's just like, bro, you don't even know what you're doing. You have no idea. And it's just, I don't know.
indeed.
It's
They
crazy.
don't see it. Things like that are another reminder that they don't really need people anymore. AI has replaced the need for people. So
Exactly. Instead of going to someone for like a drawn picture, you're just going and sending your pictures to an AI, like an app, to get some type of AI drawn picture. It's just the craziest times that we live in. And I sit here and think about how you speak on the Agenda 2030, and I'm just like, man, that's going to be some scary times. Like 7 years ago, a lot of these things were not here, and now they're here. So imagine 7 years from now, that's going to be something crazy that they got in store for us. And I'm just like, man, if we don't hurry up and see it, it's going to be over with. It's probably too late already.
There's going to be a lot less people here when 2030 rolls around. All you guys who got your clot shots, enjoy your time. But yeah, I mean, they put out, it's funny how they put out all the articles at the beginning of the year, all the international headlines about a new phantom heart disease that's going to take a lot of people's lives in the next 5 years. Just the way they mock us, like, oh, I wonder what the new phantom heart disease is going to be that's supposed to take a lot of people's lives. I wonder what that could possibly be caused from. And again, you guys, for all you have been listening to me, I warned you guys all. I told you what it was all about. I told you depopulation is a real thing. And again, people can get mad all they want. Zach's no different than the Illuminati. You guys are morons. I'm totally different than the Illuminati. I'm exposing them, but I'm saying the one thing that I agree with, get rid of all these losers. Until these losers are gone and out of here, I don't see anything changing. So that might be the one place where we might align. But I don't want to control people and dictate their lives and have surveillance over them and be peeking into every last thing they do. But at the same time, I do see how society is mostly a bunch of rejects, and we'd be a lot better off without them here because they're all dragging us to hell. And they're too dumb. They're too dumb to see what their actions contribute to. They're too dumb to see how sending in your drug. I mean, artists were already starving. Now how much more are they going to be starving now that AI just replaced them? And again, who knows what they're doing in this database with all these pictures you're sending into these bots. So, yeah. Anyway, man, I'm glad you're awake and you see through the game. But, sorry to everyone who, again, all you guys who disrespected me over the years and went out and got the clot shot, karma's a bitch. That's all I got to say. So, anyway.
Yeah. But they're also doing the the transgender thing, and it's like it's gotten even better. And someone posted on Facebook, and they said it's getting real scary out here. This is a trans, and it's a trans that looked exactly like a woman. And every time somebody is speaking against you speaking out, they always say you're straight, but you're reposting this stuff, and it's just like, how does that make me like gay or make someone gay because they're speaking against the transgenders? Like, I don't get how that makes someone
make
gay.
Illogical statements all the time. It doesn't make sense. But people need to recognize all of these things being pushed: homosexuality, transgender, the clot shot. You just pay attention. Where's it all going to? It's all going towards depopulation. Gay people and transgender people and young kids who rushed into a decision to mutilate their genitals before they even had their adult mind to think about things right. I mean, Joe Biden literally said that he wanted to create a federal program to help subsidize essentially genital mutilation for young people. Again, he's just doing what he's told. He's another Jesuit puppet, just like Trump. They're all Jesuit puppets. Don't get caught up in he's better than this one. They're all just doing their part. But everything is just going right towards depop. And people didn't get the joke of why they overturned Roe versus Wade 1 week after approving the clot shot for 6-month-olds. They don't need a Roe versus Wade anymore. That was the whole time that was here was to keep. And we all know what they did with Roe versus Wade. I mean, again, there's a reason they've always targeted that towards specific communities. It's the same community they told to go out and get the COVID shot because they need it the most. They're always targeted the darker complected communities with all of their agendas. For whatever reason, they have the most hatred for those people, and they're the ones that they always try to control the population the most. And there would be a lot more darker complected people in this country if it wasn't for abortion. And it's going to be the same thing with the clot shot. People don't get the sick jokes these people are pulling off. And it's too bad. The whole overturning of Roe versus Wade was a massive 201 ritual, just like Event 201's what popped off the COVID thing. And people don't get it. I mean, a whole week of headlines about how black women are going to be the most impacted by the overturning of Roe versus Wade. In the case, it's called Dobbs-Jackson. And then a week later, you get the first black female Supreme Court Justice, Jackson. And then Jackson, Mississippi's underwater, and they're planning the next moon mission for Michael Jackson's birthday launch, and they're overturning Roe versus Wade on what was it, like the anniversary of Michael Jackson's death. I mean, stuff is sick. So anyway, a bunch of people filed in the room. If you got one more thought, please get it out there, and I'm gonna let a few more people on.
All right. Well, I kind of wanted to read their basically what they were saying. Well, a few statements or things they had to defend these things, because I said, I came in and usually I don't comment on these things. It might irritate me when people speak on these things, but I usually don't say anything. But I had to say something. I'm like, I basically said it wasn't okay. It's not okay. And then the girl ended up saying to you, to you it's not okay. But I'm like, you don't see the problem with all these things when you tell me, you basically make it seem like what I'm saying is opinionated. But honestly, yeah, it might be, but I honestly don't think it's room for a debate on whether it's right or wrong. And for some guy to pop up and she said nothing is wrong with it because she's beautiful either way. And before she was fully a she, he was handsome. And I'm like, what? Do you hear the words that are like, that is bizarre to me. She's beautiful, but before she was fully a she, he was handsome. I'm like, bro, this cannot be real. That makes no sense to me. That is the weirdest thing I ever read. And I was like, oh my God. This is really the times that we live in. People just choosing their genders like it's a video game.
And I never. That's the one thing that's gotten so crazy. Like, I knew things were going to get bad when I was 18 years old when 9/11 happened, because I was like, man, if the population's this dumb and it'll go along with this obvious lie, how bad will it get? I could never have predicted that we're now like having conversations like, well, I think maybe a guy should be able to compete against women if he identifies as a woman. I mean, it's just like, this is so ridiculous. But yeah, and again, if I was having a conversation like that with somebody, I'd probably just say, oh, okay, whatever. Hey, have you gotten your COVID booster? Because you probably should go make sure you got all your boosters. That's probably what I would say to them.
Yeah,
just
that is bizarre.
So that, if people don't get what I'm saying, like, these people just need to go. They need to be out of here. Go get your clot shot, and please, we don't need
honestly, because
from the pasture. So
yeah, I agree. It's like some people might look at that as harsh, but it's like, no, the way we're going, we need these people gone, low key. Like, I agree with what you're saying. Like, people might say it's coming off, bad and this and that, but it's like, bro, we do not need these people, because they're feeding in with it and it's dragging everybody else down, honestly. And people, every time you speak out on you're too woke. It's just like, why is that? It's like it's a bad thing to have intelligence or see through it. You get bashed for having a brain, basically. It's like, if you're not a robot, you're horrible for the world.
Yes. That's been true my whole lifetime, though. It was always like, you didn't want to be too smart in school because then you'd be a nerd, a dork, a loser, a geek. So, like, if you were smart, you had to, kind of fit in and just, say all the same catchphrases as everybody else and not show that you were too smart to fit in. I mean, that's the way our society has always been. It's kind of been a negative culturally to be intelligent. So,
yeah, that's
appreciate it, Trayvon. Yeah, man. Start your channel, speak up. Don't be afraid of getting censored. Just keep coming back. And yeah, if you need some funding behind it, just tell people, like, listen, man, expect this channel to be going down all the time, but here's where you can support me to keep the message alive. That's what I've had to do. So.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you do, and you bringing the truth to everybody. I appreciate you, man. Definitely.
All right, appreciate you too, Trayvon. Keep it up, man. Thank you. World needs more people like you. Yeah, take care.
Yeah,
take care. Yeah, Trayvon gets it, man. He feels that he needs to speak out despite all the censorship. Exactly how it needs to be. What's up, Jill?
Hi. You know what? Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Oh,
hello.
I don't know how this works. I didn't know how to, because I can't get my earpiece to work, so I have you on speaker. In any case, I'm up here in Buffalo, New York. A lot of snow right now, and I came down to meet you when you were there after the shooting, and I gotta tell you, up to that point,
you with your brother, right? You were with your brother. With your brother, right?
No, I was by myself. I bought you guys a case of water. That one guy that was there from Ohio, I believe, had never
yes.
You guys had. Yeah. So I just popped in, but I've always wondered about Buffalo.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for coming out and doing that.
I just always
there was another woman who I met who
wondered what the deal was here, other than an assassin.
Jill, your connection's cutting out a lot, so I can't really hear what you're saying, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was great. I'm just like September. Hello.
Yeah, sorry, your connection's cutting out a lot, so I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, I wonder why. I wonder if there's something I can do. Rats.
Maybe disconnect and come back, Jill. Maybe disconnect and try to do a reset and come back, because I can't really hear you.
Okay, I sure will. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, yeah, I'll be on. What's up, Script? Or hold on. Oh, hold on. Mr. Futures, I'm coming back to you, Mr. Futures. I meant to click on Script. He was next. What's up, Script?
How you doing, Zach?
Hey,
can you hear me
again on the World Cup?
Thank you. The last time on TFR, I realized my voice was muffled on the call, so I'm just making sure. Can you hear me well?
You sound great. Yeah.
All right. The World Cup. What a joke! From the start to the end, the whole 28 days. it was like one big drama show. We had like these big upsets. Japan beating Spain and Germany, the two best teams in the world. But
just for the record, it was November 20th it started, so it did end 28 days later, but it was a full span of 29 days of the tournament. And of course, football is 29 in the most pure, just for another thing to point out. 29 is the 10th prime. You had the battle of the two superstars, number 10 versus number 10, Messi versus Mbappe. So go ahead.
Yeah, but yesterday's match was probably the most scripted game of all time. All right, can I share something?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so the World Cup started exactly 33 weeks before Argentina Independence Day. And of course, the match ended 3-3, like 33. If you watched after the match, the celebrations, there was a guy wearing number 19, Sergio Aguero. He was actually Messi's roommate until he retired last year at the age of 33 due to a heart condition. And of course, Argentina improved to 3-3 in World Cup finals. Zach, did you know this? Yesterday's final was exactly 1,617 days after the 2018 World Cup final.
What's the magic of 1617?
That's the 33rd pentagonal number.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they beat France, the plus 33 international dialing code, and become 3-3 in World Cups. They couldn't have scripted it any better. Wow. Script unveiled. Truly. Script unveiled in the flesh. If you guys don't know this man's channel, Script Unveiled, check it out.
Argentina got their third World Cup win against France. They got their third win in the World Cup against France, staying on 3 all-time losses against them, like 33. And this riddle, of course. Did you know Argentina got their 22nd all-time trophy yesterday in the 22nd World Cup in 2022?
I saw you say that. I saw you say that they'd get their 22nd trophy, and I didn't know what that meant. What how does that work?
They got their 22nd title, so like World Cup, all championships since they were, made a nation in football.
Oh, just like all the different national team events.
Yeah, the World Cup, the Copa America. Yesterday they got their 22nd trophy. Yeah, in the 22nd edition.
Yeah.
Making France 2-2 in World Cup finals. It was also 22 weeks, exactly 22 weeks before the anniversary of FIFA's foundation, and of course this was a FIFA World Cup.
FIFA equals 22 in the most simple cipher.
Yes, it does. So the satanic. The guy who scored the winner in the penalty shootout, Gonzalo Montiel. Guess which match? Guess which appearance? The number of appearances he's made for Argentina as of yesterday with the final.
If I had to guess, I'd say 22.
Yep, he scored the winner. He won the World Cup for his nation in his 22nd match with Argentina. What a
Must
joke.
all be a coincidence.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say when people are like, man could never do this? Do you agree with that statement? Man could never do this?
No, of course not. I think man is doing this. How perfect does it have to be? Like, of course, if man is not doing this, why did Mbappe scored a hat trick yesterday for the first time in 56 years in a World Cup final? For the first time in 56
don't get
years.
That. When you write out 3 is a word, it equals 56. And again, it's biblical.
Also,
the third verse of the Bible, God makes light. Light's 56. It's the Abrahamic religions. Abrahamic 56. There's 3 Abrahamic religions. Always 3 and 56. Over and over again.
Mbappe is like the new cover boy in the world of football. Like Pele, he's like the new Pele. Yesterday's match was 56 days after Pele's birthday. Pele shares the same birthday as Ignatius of Loyola.
I know I covered that. I saw that the championship, because again, for people who didn't know, this World Cup began on the day leaving 41 days left in the year. World Cup equals 41. They said that Pele was on his deathbed 41 days after his birthday. And then I said, oh, look, the championship's in 15 days. So the championship will be 56 days after his birthday.
Yeah. It was also a span of 56 days before the anniversary of Argentina's last win against France. They last beat France on the 42nd day of the year. They beat them 4-2 on penalties, and the prize money for this World Cup is $42 million. Messi gets his 42nd career trophy as well. It's like endless.
The headline about him being in room 201 broke on November 19th, which is the day leaving 42 days left in the year, one day before the tournament began.
Yeah. Did you know Diego Maradona made his World Cup debut on June 13th, 1982, day leaving 201 days in the year? And
I didn't know that,
I
but how fitting.
remember back in like June, I came on like one of the Sunday shows back in June. On June 1st, Argentina beat Italy in the Finalissima, like the two teams that won the European Championship and Copa America. Funnily and coincidentally, the Finalissima was played 28 years before the last edition, back on June 1st. And of course, Argentina won the Finalissima against Italy a span of 201 days before yesterday's World Cup final. Messi stays in room 201.
Maybe you should put one of my. I have this idea to make children's books or gematria. I could see you making the greatest World Cup 2022 gematria children's book. I got an illustrator to draw pictures. So,
wow.
Unless you have drawing skills yourself, I guess now we could just send it to the AI. But
yeah. But I didn't find all this information by myself. I mean, there was like a lot of comments and Twitter as a community, you know.
Well, just put a thing in the back and say, dedicated to all the truth seekers and who made all these contributions.
Indeed. Zach, one last thing.
Yeah.
The number 36 from yesterday. Argentina came into the World Cup 36 matches unbeaten. They won the World Cup now for the first time in 36 years. Maradona died on the day, leaving 36 days in the year. And Mbappe, yesterday was a span of 36 days after the anniversary of his last hat trick for France. He scored 3. He came into the match with 33 goals for France and ended with 36 goals. Hat trick sums to 36.
And again, yesterday had 36-day numerology. Pope Francis was born in 36, and they scored their second goal of the game, going up 2-0 at the 36th minute, and that was their 151st all-time World Cup goal, 36th prime.
Yeah.
So,
and they lost.
I mean, it just shows you how scripted it is.
Their unbeaten run came to an end on 151 days after Messi's birthday, 36 prime. But and the most obvious
that was 83 days after the leader of Saudi Arabia. When Saudi Arabia upset Argentina in the beginning, I pointed out because a lot of people were like, "Oh, your Argentina pick doesn't look good." I said, "No, I think this isn't a problem." Again, that was 83 days after the Saudi Arabia leader's birthday. Football's 83. We call that the ultimate football number, like Brady born on 8-3. But Peyton Manning born on the 83rd day of the year. From American football to international football, they're doing the same stuff. But again, they became the 4th team in World Cup history to lose the first game and win the World Cup. Again, Messi wearing number 10. 10's the 4th triangular number. After Maradona died, Messi won 4-0, a span of 4 days from his death. It was a period of 4 days. All that happened. Maradona's death, the 4-0 game. And now the 4th guy to lead a team to winning the World Cup after losing the opening game. All ritual.
Yeah. Argentina came into the World Cup with 144 points in the tournament. Yesterday was the 144-year anniversary of Qatar National Day. Can you imagine that? And their coach, Argentina coach, got his 144th career point yesterday.
How about that?
It's perfect.
Must all be just one big Jesuit coincidence.
Yeah, and after the match, they say, like, you couldn't have scripted it any better. Of course you couldn't have, because it's already perfect.
Yeah. You saw what Apple tweeted, right? You saw the Apple tweet?
Yeah. Was it the...
Yeah, for people that didn't see what Apple tweeted after the game, I'll show you what they tweeted.
I think you retweeted it.
I tweet so much stuff. Where is it? Right here. If today's World Cup final had been scripted, it would have been too unbelievable to be true. Relive one of the best matches ever.
Yeah, that's what it was. One of the best matches ever. Everybody going hype and crazy. It was like one big emotional roller coaster for these fanboys. Yeah, because Argentina.
Yeah,
I mean,
my friend who hasn't talked to me since 2013, who he used to get all his advice from me. I haven't even tried to really reach out to him since 2013, but I did send him my video yesterday because he's like the biggest football fan in the world. But I'll see if he responds. So
just
anyway.
like I used to be. I used to be, man. It's crazy, right? Like as a kid, we grow up thinking like, oh, I want to be like an athlete. He's my role model. Messi's my role model as a kid, and then turns
Right.
out he's an actor.
Yeah, deceiving his fans, man. So, well, I appreciate it. Everybody subscribe. Script Unveiled does awesome work. Got to let a few more people on, but keep it up, Script. Amazing.
All right, thanks for having me. Enjoy your day, man.
Sure. Take care, man. See you.
All right.
All right. Script Unveiled, amazing work. Mr. Futures also doing amazing work. What's up, Mr. Futures? Welcome back.
What's up, Zach? What's going on, man? Oh, man.
You know, another day in paradise. How'd your weekend go for you?
All right, it went great, man. We hit a game a couple days ago, and yesterday, one of the things that you've been talking about, I don't even know, since probably the beginning when you started introducing numbers, it didn't even really take much of a decode. I don't know if you saw it. You probably did, though. The Warriors and that pie riddle just continues to pay dividends.
Yeah.
Yesterday, as a 6-point underdog.
Oh, we were all over that. Yeah, we were all over that one. Bring it home. And then they got a Toronto mass shooting on the day with 5 dead, like basketball's 5-on-5, all synced up, man.
I mean, dude, and we still have to prove that sports are rigged. And every time a big, world event happens, like the World Cup, the World Series, we have to come and restart from the beginning because, in gambling, that's one of the things about it. You're always on to the next pick. So people forget about what you've done for the past 3, 5, 7 years, and they're already on to the next one. And it's really a sickness, man. Every time we hit one of these. And I speak about it all the time. Futures and underdogs are the best evidence that we have. Now, you have tons of futures under your belt. I've got tons of underdogs. You've got tons of underdogs. Those are the best examples, and you can't, refute them. There's no rebuttal to them because they're not favorite games. These are things that are not necessarily supposed to happen. Now, to hit that at such a big win rate, and have such a positive ROI on investments like that should be all the evidence that you need. In any other industry, we wouldn't need so much evidence to be able to prove this point, but because so much is fighting against us, we have to restart every single day.
Yeah, indeed, man. It's again, I understand why we're so censored. I mean, you go on a platform like YouTube, they're advertising the World Cup, they're advertising the NBA Finals, they're advertising the Super Bowl. That they're in a partnership that's big money. We're tampering with their money making. They're like, we're not going to let you make money on our platform and have you tamper with our money. That's the reality of the situation. And in a way, again, even though I'm opposed to government, it actually creates the argument for, well, I mean, then you get government, it's corrupt, but it creates the argument for why you need like some kind of regulatory service to allow a platform to be like not have anything to do with money, but it being just about for the person to get out their message out there, like the city town hall, and see who resonates with it the most. And I think had we not been censored and sabotaged, we'd be the biggest thing there ever was in the history of sports. I feel like people wouldn't even be watching ESPN and Stephen A. Smith. They'd be tuned into us every day because they'd be like, shit, that's where you make the money each day. This is the dopest sport. They'd still watch the games because they're like, oh, look how they scripted it. But you know what? The problem is we're helping people make money from the casinos. The problem is the casinos would be all out of business. So the game would implode. It would be over. And ultimately, that is what I really want. We all need money to survive, and I am trying to get money to have resources to make a bigger impact. But at the end of the day, what I really want is for just this whole thing to implode. I wish it would all I wish the NBA would die, the NFL, all these things. I love sports. I wish they would die, and in their place, we'd say, you know what? Let's create a new sports league, and let's actually make it about the city. Like if you want to play for the Portland Trailblazers, you better be from the Pacific Northwest. You better be from either like Idaho, Washington, Oregon, NorCal. But you're below there, you go down and you play for the Lakers and the Clippers. You're east of there, you go play for the Timberwolves. That would be real. Then you like all these in the stadium, like, whoa, Damian Lillard. You think Damian Lillard gives two shits about the Portland Trailblazers and he throws away another game? It's just, I mean, he doesn't give two shits. He's not from Portland, from Oakland, right? Cheering for the Warriors.
Yeah, and like the resistance that we get from the league and these platforms, that makes all the sense in the world, obviously, right? Because we're impacting the bottom line, we're waking people up, which is great. But the resistance that we get from the community itself, the people themselves, mankind, I'm talking about in general, that's kind of the thing that I don't understand. We get up on these platforms, we try to speak knowledge into people. You offer it at a very reasonable price or at what you feel like is a reasonable price. And, people still have the audacity to refute everything that you say, no matter what the evidence.
They never come on here. They never come on here and debate. When they get on here, they just get on here and regurgitate their talking points, which are false, just to troll. But look, I always open it up for debate. You see the idiots in the comments after the fact. I mean, literally spamming the Argentina thing after the fact. Zach, it's like, God, these guys are just fucking losers. You know they don't even mean what they're saying. That's why they know they couldn't come on here and debate, because they just get bitch slapped all over the place and look like idiots. But they can spam the comments. They can harass the Patreon all day and try to persuade people to leave, but they could never win the debate. And you don't see anyone trying to have an honest debate with me. You see either people ignore or just like, oh, that's stupid, and then don't even acknowledge it. But nobody wants to have a real conversation. So we win.
Yeah, it was obviously in the beginning it was funny. It's a joke, and but at this point, to continue to support somebody who hides behind the camera, who the extent of their content is a slideshow of slander that they put together. They've never introduced themselves. That right there just continues to be a joke to me. Like it's not something that we should take serious. How do we know that this isn't supported by Mohegan Sun, William Hill, all these things that are fighting us, and people continue to support basically an idiotic slideshow that comes out every month or every other month. It's just a joke. To even complain about something, somebody who's providing information for $5 every 30 days. That's the funniest thing in the world to me. I mean, where do you get off trying to complain about anything that costs $5 for a month?
Right. Yeah, and you can almost guarantee that that's exactly what it is. I mean, somebody to sit there and watch everything I do and screen record everything and then just put together their collages to try and make me look bad, which are always disingenuous and totally dishonest. And I mean, he even admitted, I don't know if you saw yesterday, but I showed how he responded publicly to a statement. I'm like, see, he's admitting that he knows he's lying, but he doesn't care because all he wants to do is undermine how much I make per month. That's his whole goal is to like shut down the people following the work by lying, whatever. His thing is if the ends justify the means, and his goal is to sabotage me. So he thinks it's fine to lie about me as long as that's what he's doing. And sadly, a lot of good people in this community have been persuaded by his work because, again, most people who follow me don't take the time to watch every last thing that I do, and a lot of them don't follow the sports work at all. And literally what that guy does is, for people who are on my Patreon, again, this is how I am. I will come out and I'll say, this is what I like, and then I'll take calls. And sometimes people will persuade me one way or another. And a lot of times at the end of the show, I'll just come back to my initial thought. I'll say, you know what? In the middle, he had me iffy and maybe coming off it. But I think this is still right because this is the pattern we know. And usually I end up being right. But what that asshole does is he'll like watch me do a stream after where I'm like, we like this game. And then he'll take that clip and go, Zach's a liar and fraud. Here's what he said in the stream. And then he'll get the middle part right after the call where I was like, maybe. And then he's like, see, oh yeah, real after the fact, Zach. And then you got all the trolls regurgitating it. And then people are like, kind of like, Zach, I just watched his video and it looks like you claimed you liked the game, but then that's not what you did. It's just like, how about sign up for the fucking Patreon yourself and watch the stream instead of this piece of shit scam artist deceiving you fucking losers. And sorry, but that is what I think about all you people who came to the community and now talking shit. I think you guys are fucking losers who got taken by the biggest troll there ever was. And you guys, it showed me that you never got behind the work and anything. And then you guys are the same ones making excuses about why you can't come out to New York. Again, here's Victor, who brought his whole fucking family out to New York, flew across the damn ocean. And how come he could afford to do it? Because he took what I was doing seriously and he turned it into a movement, and he's helping people too. He's not getting persuaded by the fucking troll like only fucking jerk-offs and losers are. So sorry. I got to rant about it. Victor's a lot nicer if you guys watch his channel. He always keeps it kosher, but not yours truly. I got to rant. So anyway.
No, you got to put it out. Honestly, it's the oldest trick in the book, right? And I told you a long time ago that a lot of what you're hating or your trolls, and it's sad to say, but it's like a lot of these people just want to have a conversation with you, Zach. That's the sad part about it. It's like, this father element to it. It's like, not sitting at the cool table, not being validated by somebody they might respect. A lot of that troll and hate and envy comes from that angle, and I've always told you about that. I remind you all the time. And then just to speak about this, because I've never spoken about it, but like I'm coming on now. We did the thing in New York, me and you, we promoted that for like over 6 months, right? And I like to say that I put a lot of effort into that because I wanted to make it happen with 9/11. And, I was telling you, 6-7 months in advance, I was pushing you to make it happen as well. So we put a lot of, grassroots marketing and promotion, my channel, your channel, as well as every other platform we were on. So we built that up as something we wanted to make happen. So by the time it comes, there was this certain individual that obviously it made sense for them to attach themselves to that event, even though they had nothing to do with it, but they felt like they were going to attach themselves to that, get the free marketing, the free promotion, make it look like it was an event that they put together when that wasn't the case. Me and Zach were out there. We got a bunch of faulty apologies. I told you about that. This individual we had an issue with before apologized to you, apologized to me behind the scenes, though, in front of the camera, on the platform, on YouTube. They disrespect, discredit, and try to slander you, but then they want to apologize behind the scenes when nobody's watching. And I never respected that. I told you about that at the time. So just to bring it full circle, a lot of these people have hidden agendas. They're doing things for the wrong reasons. And that's why people are going to continue to make fun of this work, because we have people inside of it that claim to be doing the work, but can't even get their emotions under control and just stop envying and hating on other people. People continue to try to attach themselves to you, attach themselves to me, trying to give themselves credibility, but that's not how you do it. You let the work speak for itself. That's why no matter what anybody says about your attitude, what you say, how you talk to people, they could never say anything about the work. That's what you're always going to have going for you. And, I've done that as well. I've let the work continue to speak for itself. But I just wanted to put that out there because now we got people on the internet, on YouTube, continuing after apologizing to myself and Zach for things they've done in the past, going back on that and just talking shit.
Yeah, that is, and I'm just trying to ignore that because it's really annoying to me, and it's just, it is sad, man. It's like I've been giving these people their props and helping them out, and then they're back to doing their same old shit. So ego's a real thing, man. That's why if there is a creator, it's like I almost feel like this creator is an asshole because he made people's egos too big, and it's just all about competition, and I'm better than this person, and again, people say my ego's too big. Yeah, maybe in some ways, but remember, I'm the guy who got out here and did this selflessly for 5 years. And I always said from the beginning, I said, I'm not the smartest guy. There's going to be smarter people who are going to come along and take this to places that's not there yet. And I've always given people their props and their dues and built up people. And the only people I've had a problem with in the community is people who start talking shit about me. The trolls are like, Zach has a problem with everyone in the community. That's not true. There's plenty of people who I've always got along with. Case in point, Victor right here. He's one of many. Kayla Decode Talker, never a problem at all. There's plenty of people in the community never had a problem with. And again, it's because they never been punks. A lot of people have used and abused me, and it wasn't the other way around. I can't tell you how many people I spent all sorts of time tutoring them and helping them, only for them to like stab me in the back. It's like, what the hell, man? Who does that? Some
at the same
sorry
time,
ass bitches who does that.
The same times, you've stepped up and spoken the truth in instances where you haven't had to, to set the record straight. I feel like I have to do the same thing because oftentimes you are way more forgiving than I am, and you continue to give people a second, a third, and fourth chance. But I asked you to just think about this for a second, Zach. How convenient was it that for the person that we had an issue with, to all of a sudden, when we're putting together a 9/11 event where we're getting a bunch of supporters meeting us on the ground, we're going to have a bunch of cameras on us, we're going to be making a bunch of noise. How convenient is it for that individual to all of a sudden say, oh yeah, I'm going to apologize to them today just to be part of the, a part of the crowd? a part of this movement that's going to happen. It's pretty convenient, don't you think?
I know who you're talking about, and I know that person recently put out another shit video talking about me, but then they deleted it, as they've done numerous times. And you know what? I got to say, Victor, I'm still going to continue to give that person the benefit of the doubt, because they can be helpful to the movement, even though they've probably been more detrimental. And I'll give credit where it's due. They did a good job speaking on the street. I was impressed, because I don't know if that person has public speaking history, but if they don't, man, they're a natural at it. But yeah, I don't know what the hell that person's problem is, and I think it's because they're always listening. The part of the thing is, I mean, you know how the trick. I don't know if the trolls come at you and are always trying to start shit, but the trolls are always trying to start shit between all of us, and some people are listening to the trolls too much and getting taken by that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think about that person, and they are annoying the hell out of me. But if we go to New York again, I would still give them the benefit of the doubt. But if they keep talking shit, I mean, yeah, it is annoying, man. It's like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? You came out and apologized, and we're supposed to move on, and now you're back to the same old things. I don't know what to say about it. So you're right. They could just be out for themselves, and they saw it as an opportunity to promote their brand. Maybe that's all it was at the end of the day. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was obvious. Character will show in times. Pay attention to not what people say, but what they do. I've always been a big believer in that, and I get it. We're two different individuals. It's fine, but I'll just continue to caution you. Because I feel like the evidence, just like we like to look at evidence to support what we're doing, the evidence is there to support what I'm saying. So, but we'll move forward. It is what it is. But yeah, again, just talking about the sports and everything like that. If you I put out a ton of content on my channel to continue to support the work. I feel like I have some of the best gematria examples on my channel, as well as live testimony from people in the community, just like Zach puts up all the time on how they continue to take advantage of it all over my social media, Instagram, Twitter. It's Mr. Futures everywhere. And you don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take Zach's word for it. Take the word of the people that are using the knowledge. Take a word of the genuine people that continue to take advantage of what we're doing. And that's all I ask. And, my channel, it's growing at like a snail's pace at the moment. I wish we were getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but it's not happening. But I'll continue to do the work and pay it forward. And, I remind everybody as we close out this year of 2022, a lot of work was put in by Zach behind the scenes and in front of the camera. He's taken a lot of his personal time away from his family, to continue to grow the movement, boots on ground all over the U.S.
Shout out to yourself. Hey, Victor got his whole damn family to come out for the 9/11 gathering. Nobody from my family came out. So shout out to Victor. Victor's doing the same thing, you guys. He's a veteran in the community. His channel is shadow banned to hell like mine. And in a way, it's a compliment, because that's what they do when you're putting out detrimental knowledge to the cabal. But yeah, you guys should be subbed to Mr. Futures. And again, another Patreon definitely worth supporting, putting out winning knowledge, helping his people. And again, he has. It seems like he has more trolls than subscribers. It's like they get tired of trolling me sometimes. They start talking about Mr. Futures. It's like, yeah, I guess they're going after us because we're just doing such a damn good job. But anyway, keep it up, Victor. Appreciate you, man, and stay healthy, man.
I will. I'll continue. I'll try my best. And just before I get out of here, I'm just urging everybody to pay it forward as this year, comes to an end. Like I said, we've both been doing a bunch of work. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for the power of the universe. You put out there what you want to receive back, and definitely pay it forward. You will find that it comes knocking back at your door, and times 2, times 3, times 4. So on that note, I'll get out of here, Zach. Have a great day, and I'll continue to support you, man. Take care.
All right. Appreciate it, Mr. Futures. Take care, Vic.
Yep.
All right, Kent, sorry to keep you on hold so long, man. Thanks for the super chat and for uploading that video. I'm subscribed. So what's up, Kent?
I was headed, but it's no problem at all. I just wanted to let you know I misspelt the channel that I'm uploading the video to, but I just saw somebody talking shit about like you not being willing to confront people in person, and I like all of your videos where you're street teaching attest to attest to that not being true. So I tried to grab some of the more explosive, like altercation moments from those, just to make it into a short video, not to really focus on the negative aspects, but just because I feel like those are the moments that kind of like might get people to watch the full stream. Do you think that makes any sense?
Of course, people love drama, so.
Right. So I was just trying to catch people to get them to actually listen to the stream and not like just those key moments. But I thought that might kind of instigate them to go watch the full things, because they're jam packed with good information. And I don't know. I feel people are focused too much on their emotions right now. Yes, that's it.
The channel I have up on the screen, that's going to be it, right? You're going to put it there?
Yep, that'll be it. And then actually, if you'd like, I can upload it to my Odyssey account and give you a chance to check it out before. If you have any comments or suggestions, then I can edit it and then post it to my YouTube channel after that.
Just do it however you want. Yeah, I just appreciate that you're doing it. Yeah, however you do it.
Yeah. No worries, man. Yeah, I don't know. There's too many good moments throughout all those streams, and y'all did great work. So I felt like highlighting those. That's kind of like some of my favorite stuff that you've done, is like especially getting out in Yakima for like 30 days straight and just nonstop telling people what's up. I respect that aspect of your work a lot, man.
Yeah, I saw the person you were arguing with. That person, that person just doesn't make any sense to me, because all I ever did was promote their channel and say how good their work was, and then one day they just started attacking viciously, and it's never stopped. And it's just. I'm like, do people like get into the community to act like my friend, only to just like? I don't know if you guys know the song "Tool Sober," but that's kind of what that song is about. Like, lift somebody up just to like tear them down even further. It feels like a lot of people have done that to me over there. It's like, what's wrong with these people? But yeah, that's the person you're arguing. And yeah, I did see the comment and the exchange, but
I didn't even bother responding to the second one. I was like, I'm just gonna compile all the footage to the contrary.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but it's like I was at the March for Our Lives rally this year with all these people that want us to destroy the First and Second Amendment, and I just had to shut down their whole rally for a moment and put them on blast. I mean, there's not a lot of people that will go stand in front of a group of God knows how many people and totally interrupt their thing, because it's total bullshit, and put them on the spot. And all they could do was hate, but they didn't have anything to argue back because they knew I was right.
Yeah, everybody was just like, it's not the place. This isn't the time. We're not going to listen to you here. I actually put that in the video as well. So I put OKC, NYC, that march, the March for Our Lives. And then I was also the Tops, some excerpts from Buffalo at Tops as well. And it's not all just negative, like the more contentious moments. It's, you giving out good information as well. But I wanted to include those because I thought people like drama. It'll get them to maybe click on your channels more often. But yeah, man, I just finished my drive, so I got to head out. But I just wanted to hop on and let you know.
All right, thanks, Kent, man. Sorry I kept you waiting so long.
Hey, no worries.
I really appreciate you doing that. I look forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. If you need any more video work done in the future, man, just let me know.
Okay.
But,
I owe you.
All right,
Thanks,
man.
Kent. Appreciate it.
No worries, brother. Peace.
Yeah, take care, man. See you. Thank you. All right, let's see if Jill's connection's working. Oh, hit the wrong button. Jill, are you still there? Jill? Hey, Jill. Yeah. Now that you have your face on there, I definitely remember you. I thought it was you after you said you weren't the woman that came out with the brother, because there's only so many women that came out for Buffalo.
Oh, you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah, that's good. Oh, shoot. Well, she was there. All right, Jill, you're welcome to come back. I don't know what happened that time, but you're welcome to come back. Truth does not exist. What's up? Truth does not exist. All right, well, we didn't get anyone to really come on and debate if sports are rigged. Part of the reason that people don't debate also is just because they think they're so much above numerology. They just like, numerology, that's so stupid. Sports are rigged? No, dumb, you gotta be to think sports are rigged. That's where they are, so they don't even think it's worth the time to debate. How can you rig the game? Did you see how excited they were that they won the championship? I mean, they were totally into it. It's like, yeah, you notice they're paid $100 million to play the sport. You know there's such a thing as acting? Never heard of acting before? It's like these morons are fooled by the easiest and oldest tricks in the book. Born yesterday. All right, what's up, Jill?
Oh, hi. All right. So last September, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny came to Buffalo, and it was with Coach Dave and Ohio Brett, and they were advocating for college athletes because Cole Beasley had just opted out for the the clot shot, and so they had gone down.
Right.
Yeah, they had started. They started this whole Christian revolution in Buffalo, New York, which I thought was pretty cool. But I always wondered why. But then obviously this happened with Cole, and he had left, and he couldn't get a job, right? And there was people there speaking from ESPN who walked away from their jobs after 30 some years. And it was a big convention. It was all day. It was really neat. So then the next day went down, it was Labor Day weekend. They went down to the stadium and they did a Jericho wall prayer or something for Cole Beasley, that, he will and said, I'm not doing it. This is my body, my temple type of thing. So praying for him, obviously lost his job or, walked away from it and then didn't get picked up. So obviously he came back now. I haven't done the numbers on any of this, but my thought is only because, not just because of that, because he represented for people to stand up, walk away from the money essentially. But the Super Bowl, I was telling my son that I thought that it was going to be the Bills and the Bucks because Tom Brady obviously was, and then he's like a traitor now because he's a pirate essentially, and he's the GOAT, Baphomet, which is, the with the weirdos thing that they praise, but also that we're like this maritime law, which is like right now law, like of the, trading our birth certificates and all that crap that they do with us. And we're going back to the law of the land, the Constitution, a republic for the people, not a corporation anymore. So the Pirates get beat by the Buffalo Bills, which Buffalo roamed the land first. We're going back to law of the land. And plus it takes down the GOAT too. And you touched on that about Tom Brady. I wonder a little bit about him because he's the prettiest dude I've ever seen, first of all. And he's effeminate in some ways. So I wonder about this transgender thing. If they switch people when they're younger, they do weird stuff. So
I could never accept that Tom Brady's transgender is I don't think any woman can throw a football that far down the field. I mean, there are women who are strong and impressive athletes, but I don't think you can find a woman that can throw a football that far down a field. I don't think that's genetically possible, unless it's like kind of super freak genetic test tube tranny.
You don't think the balls are drawn by something or I don't want to say like magnetic, but you don't think they have any control over that? It's not just rigged and that they know what happened, but that the ball, I don't know.
Think they're using technology in the balls. It's obvious the grip gloves are out of control this day because you got the most amazing catch every week. I don't know, a motorized ball to fly further through the air? I mean, I guess it's in the realm of possibility. Some guys have really big arms. I'm a good quarterback, but the thing is, I could never bomb the ball more than 45 yards down the field. I mean, these NFL guys, they got big arms. They can throw it 70. Some of them can throw it further down the field than that. So, again, and I mean, I've never seen a woman probably throw a football further than 45 yards. So.
Yeah, I got you. So yeah, that's the theory. I don't know what the numbers are behind them being in the Super Bowl, but that I guess I'm waiting for you guys to do that. I do phrases mostly, or people's names, or if someone comes out with a story, then I'll post things they said, and it's and then go through that and whatever resonates. There's obviously ways to do the gematria, but thank you for all you do, and I loved when you drove across, especially when you did the music. Like so entertaining. It like got me through my day that whole week. So thank you for that and your time.
Sure. Yeah, well, you're very welcome, and thanks for coming out to Buffalo and bringing us water. I definitely remember who you were. There was another woman who came out with her brother, and I want to say her name was Jill as well, but anyhow, thanks again, Jill. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Be well.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Take care. All right. We got somebody on. Maybe he wants to debate.
Nah, man. I talked to you last time you had a StreamYard after for a while. Remember, I'm out here in AZ.
I recognize you. I was like, maybe today he wants to debate anyway. Yeah. What's up, man?
Nothing to debate about. Hey, man, I know what dude was talking about not going to LA. We texted the other day about it. If you go, man, just letting you know, I got you at the airport. I got your wheels around there. I'll drive you around, whatever you need. So we got to worry about renting a car, keep that little expense down. And to me, I don't care if it's just me and you and we reach one person, because shout out to my boy Dill, who we just reached, finally broke through to him after months and months of me spitting the game out to my friends. And he's finally in and listening. The World Cup final blew his mind away. He's going to be staying with me next week, and we're going to be watching many of your videos, and I'm going to be educating him. And to me, if I reach one person, it's a life changer. And so I don't care if it's just me and you on the corner of Staples Center. I mean, let's do it, because
people will come out. People will come out. I'm telling you, I want to be down there January 26th. It's probably going to happen, and it'll probably happen again in Kobe Bryant Day. Sweet lady said she'd feel better if I just flew in like in the morning and flew out late at night.
Yeah.
And that way I don't have to worry about hotel or anything, save some money.
I'll be driving in from out here.
But another part of me is like, another part is like, well, maybe I should fly in on the 24th because there's a game that day too, and do the 24th, 25th, 26th, because then I could do 2 games. I think the Lakers-Clippers play January 24th, if I'm not mistaken. I know the Clippers game got a game there at the stadium on the 26th, the anniversary of Kobe. But yeah, I just, I want to do it on the anniversary, but I am asking the community to step up and support, just because, I mean, do you see where I'm coming from? It's like my support went way down in the year that I did way more than ever. It's like, why did this happen? So it's like, I would like to see us at least get back to the level where we were at the beginning of the year. But
me personally, what I think,
I still want to do it anyway. So
I just think like you got away from the sports a lot because you were working on the book and you were talking on the book a lot. And unfortunately, that's what people come for, because they want the sports. They want to try to win the money. Sadly enough, there's not enough people who care about what's really going on out there. They just want to hit the sports picks. And that's what I think happened. I mean, I watched you all year, man. You was heavy in the sports early and you had a ton of members. And then you went on the Oklahoma thing more about, off the sports stuff, and then that's when you saw the membership go down, and that's what I think.
Yeah, I think that is what happened. People don't care about the movement; they care about the sports.
They don't, man, and they're gonna in 5 or 6 years when they've been like, man, I should have maybe cared about something besides just the game, but.
And just for those out there who might be listening today and not on the Patreon right now, realize I only charge $5 a month. Had you stayed on all year, it would have cost you a whopping $60 for the whole year. You would have just made a fortune over the weekend like everybody else still in the community. So, again, being a buster, you only hurt both of us.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Absolutely, man. So, I just want to throw that out there. Whatever I missed the 9/11 deal because I had a prior commitment that I couldn't get out of, that I didn't want to get out of. And but whatever you do, if the 24th to the 26th, the 23rd to the 28th, don't matter. I'm there. Short drive for me. Like I said, I got you. So that's it, man. I talked to you the other day about the whole being sober thing. And ever since that started, this has become the ultimate passion for me. It already was a passion, but now I just got the energy to throw around, and it's I just want to let it all out, And
I've been totally sober now for a while too. I never really had that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because the first question I get, I went to a party over the weekend. The first question everybody asked me is, "How do you feel?" Shit, I feel great. You know what I mean? It's crazy that's the first question you get is, "How do you feel?" Like, I feel like I was like when I was born. I wasn't born high. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I don't push anybody else to do it. I don't try to get anybody else to do it. I just tell you what I did and how I feel, and I think it's awesome. But so I got you one last 36 connection to the World Cup. It started at 6 p.m. on the 18th. Mbappe's birthday is the 20th, so it was technically 36 hours from the start of his birthday. Another crazy deal.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy. Good one. Good one.
So you got my
Appreciate
number,
that, man.
man.
Thank you.
Let me know what.
Yeah.
Let me know what's gonna happen with LA. And like I said, I got you, man.
Appreciate that. Thanks again, man.
All right, man. All right. Thanks for everything, Zach.
All right. Thanks. Yeah, welcome. Thank you. Yeah, just for the record, you guys, I mean, since I moved to this town, they have a weed shop and everything's overpriced. I mean, I never really was. I mean, I don't really drink or anything, and the only thing I ever really did was smoke weed. And I've gone on long breaks without smoking weed, but I'm thinking about never smoking weed again. My lungs are definitely doing better. I can tell you that much. Anyway, let's go out to and for all the people who do, I'm not judging you guys. I mean, I smoke weed almost my whole adult life, so enjoy it for as long as you want to. I still do enjoy it. I'm thinking about never doing it again for whatever reason. What's up, the manual? What's up?
What's going on, Zach? Damn, I was just hitting my dabs right now. Damn, that makes me feel bad.
Well, I'm not trying to ruin your high, man. Hey, I have plenty of dimes in the day, so enjoy it.
Nah, but I know you really wanted debaters and stuff to come on. I just wanted to come on to thank you again for last week, because the feedback, not only from your community, you guys showed out, of course, but like just from people that have been watching the podcast
Hold on
before
real quick.
last
I got
week.
somebody at the door. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
I got
no
an
problem.
unexpected visitor.
No problem.
I'll be right back. Hold up.
Interior garage door.
The manual, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I have to do something for about 5-10 minutes. I'm going to put the 3 people in the room all on here, and you guys just have to politely just share the mic and have the conversation. You guys can filibuster for 5 or 10 minutes. I will come back. Is that cool? Is that cool, Manuel?
I just wanted to come on. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't really have much to share for you guys because I'm still learning. But I just wanted to come on and thank you again for last week, because the feedback from people that watched before the episode has been amazing. So that's the main reason I came.
Awesome, man. You're the gentleman who invited me to the 40 Central, right?
Yeah.
Did you get me on that podcast? Yeah, it was you. Yeah,
yes,
and
yes,
I'm looking forward to doing this one. Yeah, thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate that.
Hey, that boy Sack
No
got
problem.
vivid.
I'm looking forward to it as well. But yeah, the feedback has just been great. People have just been like, yo, what the hell? Like, they never heard of this before. That they are absorbing the information, and I just love it. So
Here, you guys, I'm going to come back, but somebody's here that to fix something, and I'll come back as soon as I can. So sorry I'm jumping off like this, but you guys got the mic. Nero's up next. Truth Does Not Exist wants to hop in. I'll be back in a minute, you guys.
What's going on, y'all? I ain't think I had the mic, but I really just wanted to ask, like, what y'all like? If we could predict sports, then like the next step, the biggest step would be like, if it's even possible to predict the stock market. If we could do that by the numbers somehow, some way, because it's all manipulated, man, we could all get rich in a day or two. That's all
I'm
I
not
really
gonna
had to
lie.
say. I
I'm
want to
still
see what
learning.
Zach is.
I'm still learning, but bro, I invest in the stock market and crypto, so that was something I thought about the moment like I came across this information. I was like, yo, does this work with the stock market? Like, what the hell?
That's what I'm thinking. So somehow, some way, we can figure something out with that. I don't know. It got to do with date numerologies or how they do it with the stock market, but it's manipulated. It's a well-known fact. It's manipulated.
I came across some info, some dude saying he saw, like, he was into gematria and he saw that one of the indexes drop a certain amount of numbers in a day, and he was just like, okay, that's weird, but he didn't look too into it. So I don't know. I feel like that would be, if someone could figure that out, boy.
Maybe like man. But yeah, man, that's all I really wanted to say. Trying to see if Zach's input on this. See if he's got any experience or anything to share about that. I'll see everybody next time.
So I wanted to make an announcement. I'm gonna be downloading. Well, not I'm going to be. 2 weeks ago, I downloaded Zach's old blog. And I'm gonna put it out for anyone to download. I'm gonna put out a torrent for it. It's 60 gigabytes. So if anybody wants it, they can download it. Because Zach was saying that that posts have been getting deleted, and I downloaded the whole site like right before that. So everybody's gonna be able to have access to that. Everybody can download it. And to find like an article, you basically just have to search for the article in the file manager, and then you click on it, and then it'll pop up the web page, which is saved in locally on the computer. So everybody can get that. Everybody can get that site. So it doesn't, even if the whole site goes down, I still have this backup here with all these articles and stuff, so everybody can access it. And it's gonna be live soon. I'm copying it again. It's on a computer, and I'm copying the files. I'm gonna copy it to my computer, and then I'm gonna put a torrent, and I'm gonna seed it through this computer and another one that I have. So you guys can all download it. You guys can all have access to it. And if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Truth Does Not Exist. You guys can subscribe to my channel. And I've been getting censored just like Zach. I mean, my channel hasn't been able to go above 1,700 subscribers like at all. I've been at that number for like 6 months already. Even though I've been promoting my stuff and whatever, and I just uploaded a video now. I hope that Zach shows it. It's like 1 minute, and I couldn't like Zach's videos. I like for 10 times I liked it, and then went to another video and then came back, and my like was gone. And it happened like 10 times in a row. So I documented that. And oh, hey Zach, you're back.
I'm back. Problem solved. So.
Oh, I wanna show you something on my channel. I just uploaded a new video. It's only 1 minute. If you want to show it, I was even thinking maybe you could re-upload it. This is what they're doing to you. So it's on the videos.
Sure, you click. I mean, I'm aware of this. For people who aren't aware of this, I know all about this.
Oh, you should see the extent. You got to see the extent of it.
Should I put the volume on?
Sure, yeah.
Well, it's got that feature on, so it's going to mute it. People won't hear it, and then it'll mess up your guys' audio. Can we get the gist of the video by just watching it?
Well, yeah, so I liked your video, and then when I went to another video, I went back, and the like was gone. But I kept doing that, and it happened for like 10 or 15 times that I was liking the video, and then when I went back, it was gone. You can see.
Yeah, I've actually documented this exact same thing, and I've actually made videos like this just to show how this is how the YouTube algorithm keeps. Because again, for people don't understand how it works, if your video has more likes, more comments, it's more likely to show up in another person's feed. That's the way the whole thing works. Like, if you wonder how a viral video shows up in your feed, it's because it has so many likes and comments. So the way to suppress a video is to make sure the comments disappear, which they do, the likes disappear. And this is what they're doing. I mean, it's just a joke. It's been this way on YouTube for about 6 years now. I mean, this is nothing new, but yeah, I appreciate you documenting documenting it. And Twitter does the same thing. All these social media platforms have the same things. You know, for all you guys who think Elon Musk really is running Twitter, you guys need to pull your head out of your ass. Elon Musk is nothing but a Jesuit puppet. He doesn't run a damn thing. He doesn't run SpaceX. He doesn't run Tesla. He doesn't run anything. But yeah, I saw it right there, man. You kept coming back, and it was right back to 98. So yeah.
So you were saying that your website was deleted. So I downloaded the whole thing a few weeks before that happened. The posts that were deleted before that, sadly I don't have that, but I have all those posts, and the ones that you said were just getting deleted, I have those posts too. I'm gonna put it out on like a torrent, so that way anybody can just download it. It's 50 gigabytes, the whole site.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. All right, we had. I got to get off here pretty soon because I need to get my work done. We got one more person who joined the room, and then he'll be the last guest today. But the manual and truth does not exist. Before I bring Doug on, did you guys want to say anything else?
No, that was it. I just wanted to thank you and just let you know that the feedback's been good.
Let me know when to come back on 40 Central. I'm looking forward to the next one. So thank you.
No problem. We can't wait for you to come back too. I know the guys definitely can't wait. So looking forward to it.
All right, yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, there's always more to talk about. All right, truth does not exist. You want to say anything else?
Yeah, I found it funny because Sports Gematria made the video saying that you spent $500,000 in Truth Seeker money and the new car and like all that stuff. And I mean, first off, I'm broke and your house is a lot smaller than mine. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying it's not. You don't live in some mansion. The car that was crashed was like some old car. How old was it? Like some 2010 car or something.
The thing
like
is that his video's stupid because he didn't talk about how we sold the other house for the same value.
I know.
So he leaves that out of the video. And also, the car we got, that sweet lady's car, and she's making good money. That's her thing.
He showed that you sold your other house, and he showed that it was for $430,000. But then right after that, then he still said,
no, the house didn't sell for $430,000. No, so he showed you the wrong house. My house sold for. What's my address out there? People can go see how much my house sold for. It did not sell for $430,000. False information again, guys. Total fraud.
Yeah. Well, he showed that in the video that you sold the other house, but then he still counted that as if you spent that money from Truth Seeker money.
I'm gonna have to look at his video and see what MLS he used because it's totally false. The house did not cover $430,000.
I think it was on Zillow. I think it was on Zillow, but what's funny is that he still said it, and then people still get convinced by the video and stuff. I wanted to make a video of all his lies and showing it wrong and whatever. I mean,
this whole channel's a lie. Everything's a lie, and the house. Anyone can look. If anyone has my address in my old house, you can go look up and see how much it sold for. I'll bet you $1 gazillion didn't sell for $430,000.
And
there, close to the same price as the house.
The whole gist of the video is stupid, and he just makes it like you're greedy and whatever. I mean, how many times have you told people to not donate $100 to you and whatever? Oh, please take that money back and whatever. I mean, that doesn't sound like something.
He's a moron. He also, I guarantee, has the screen video recorded where I talk about how I bought my first house for $200,000 and sold it for over $500,000 because I was smart and bought when the market was at the rock bottom, and it appreciated like a skyrocket in the Seattle area. And then I bought my latest house for $300,000 and sold it for just about $500,000, which is what it was listed at because that was the market value for the house. It's the same exact house as the one I moved into. And so again, it's like, dude, I already have $200,000 made from the house I just sold. Where do you think the extra money came from to pay for the little bit more that this house costed? It's just like the guy's a fucking goon. He already knows all that anyway, but then he makes a disingenuous video and then puts a false price on for what my house sold. I didn't even realize that he had that in there because I didn't watch his video. I just saw the thumbnail and people shared it with me. But it's like, I don't care. I just know the guy's a fucking loser, a ballless, faceless loser who just sits there. I mean, think about how big of a fucking loser you got to be to watch all of my videos just to try to make an attack video each day. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, and another thing that he said, because he was talking about Mark Hamilton and, that he killed himself over the sports picks, which isn't true. But on top of that, he shows right after that the clip of you saying that people should commit suicide, as if that was in the same video or something. I mean, the context of it is people are like, "Oh, that's disgusting."
When he knows I'm talking about him, when he knows I'm talking about him,
and I mean, there are a lot of
again.
fucking...
You guys disagree with me? If all your life is about doing is just sitting there watching my shit to troll me every day and to get up on my Patreon every morning and troll everybody on there and just keep spamming bullshit all day 24/7. If that's all your life is, like the person we're talking about, don't you think that person should commit suicide? I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I think that's a very thoughtful, caring suggestion, because if your life is that shitty that all you can do is just hate on somebody every day, get up and hate on them all day and try and destroy what they're doing, especially when I'm trying to do something positive for people and change the world and actually fight real evil. If all you can do is get up and harass that person every day, I think you should kill yourself. In fact, not only do I think that, I think it would be right if somebody found out where you were, doxed you, and killed your ass. I think that would be more than deserved. In the Wild West, you wouldn't be able to do this shit. If I found somebody like you fucking with me the way you fuck with me, I would kill you so fast, and I wouldn't think twice about it. I wouldn't lose a second of sleep. I'd be like, one less sorry motherfucker in the world. Anybody who thinks twice, let's go outside and duel.
Yeah, and I mean, like the whole suicide thing. I mean, like one of the things that he said was, Zach told people that felt like they were lost in the world to kill themselves. No, he fucking didn't. I know for a fact that you never said something like that. That doesn't make any sense. I know that you said for shitty people to kill themselves.
I've never said that. Yeah, that's why Ben. I don't know what happened to Ben. I think his dad got to him. So.
Well, yeah, I don't know what happened to Ben, but I mean, and then I saw Switzerland in the comments like saying all this stuff, and it's like I posted, I was like, dude, I remember all your negative comments under his videos. Like, what are you talking about? That you never said this. It's like I've been here for 3 years. You think I don't remember the drama that happened back then and all the negative comments and that Zach's a shill and that he's not promoting my blog and I have the best blog and like all this stuff. I remember all that shit. I mean, anybody that's like here trying to like get credit, I mean that's already somebody to be worried about. Why are you trying to get credit for something? I've found fines, I've found stuff in the community. You don't see me here. Oh, Zach just needs to be promoting my channel. Look at how low the support for my channel is. Why isn't Zach promoting my channel more? I never say that. I've never said that before because it's not about me. It's not about my channel. It's about trying to find information. It's about trying to, make the work better. That's all it's about. I don't need my channel to be constantly promoted in every video. Oh, subscribe to my channel. Oh, I have the best work. I don't need that. I'm not gonna say that because that's not what a genuine person does.
And all those people with that same personality are all the same snakes who learn from me and then spend all their time now attacking me because they think their work's so much better. And I'm not arguing. Maybe your work is better. Get out there and work hard to get it out there like I did. I mean, I'm promoting you already. Because I'm not promoting you enough, you're going to start attacking me. I mean, it makes you an asshole. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, yeah.
I do got to get off, and I got to let one more person on, but I appreciate everything you do. Truth does not exist. And thanks for documenting that. The video you just made, I actually probably made a video like that, just like that 5 years ago, just to show how it worked.
Okay, well.
And it's sad. I mean, it's not just, they do that to everybody who puts out the truth. It doesn't matter if you're on Twitter. I mean, how many people out there are on Twitter and you give somebody a heart and you watch it tick up to one more heart for a second and then it ticks right back down to the number it was on, but now the heart's filled in that you just clicked, but the number didn't increase. I mean, you see it happen right before your eyes. So
yeah. Well,
anyway,
I hope that your Christmas gift might be coming in late, but I have a surprise gift for you. I hope that in person though we get to smoke a bowl together. I don't know if you're gonna quit, but yeah, that's like on my bucket list.
Well, the thing is, like I say, I might not smoke weed anymore, but the odds of that are very low. That'd be like if you bet $1, you'd probably win 10,000 on it if it ever happened. Because the thing is, when I go out in public, people want to smoke weed, and I can't turn it down when people have it there right in the flesh.
Yeah.
So, anyway, all right.
I mean,
yeah, all right, buddy.
One thing I want to say about it, it helped me. Like before, I used to be like I really didn't have any motivation, and I like never wanted to work or anything. But after I had it, like now I like grind and like I'm trying to like find businesses to do and like trying to make money and like trying to do work and stuff like that. It's like I've never felt like this before. I have like all this energy and stuff. So I feel great. I'm really happy that I did it. Kind of like changed my life, honestly.
Indeed. Yeah, no, I don't have it. I mean, weed's been super good for me in a lot of ways. Creativity, motivation-wise. I mean, everything has a time and a place. It's just, I've been smoking weed so long, it's just kind of like different just to be sober all the time. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well,
appreciate it. Keep up the great work, Sebastian.
Get back to your stuff.
Yeah, indeed. All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Have a good day. Bye.
All right. See you. All right. What's up, Doug?
Hey, how you doing, Jack? You hear me?
Yeah, doing well. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, well, good to see you. I tell you, I love your show, man. I like what you're doing. I had a question. What do you think about Coach Prime?
Coach Pryor. When I hear the name Pryor, I think of Mark Pryor, the pitcher. Who's Coach Pryor?
Prime, Neon Dion, prime time.
Oh, Deion Sanders. I need to look into that. Leaving the historically black college for Colorado. I actually have not done any research. I'm sure there's a big ritual at that. I know he got a lot of flack in the media. So again, I'll look into that. I'm glad you brought that up because I'd actually been meaning to look into that story. There's only so many hours in the day, but that is one I need to look at.
All right, and one other question. I've been watching you for a while since you had your blog on Blogspot, and I think it's very interesting, no doubt about that. What do you think? Do you think there's any good people in the world at the higher echelons?
There's got to be, right? There's got to be better people up at the top. It's just like, yeah, I don't think there's enough, but
is there any?
I mean, there's got to be every. Go ahead.
Do you know, do you have a idol or a hero or somebody you respect that's got any kind of a power at all? I'm just, Trump, obviously, you think he's, he's no good, and Biden's no good. And is anybody any good at the top? Or there's got to be, I guess, I would think.
I don't know if he was ever at the top, but I think if there was ever a good person that was on the stage like that, didn't ever make it in the office, but I think Ralph Nader was a good guy. I've seen Ralph Nader speak many times. He kind of disappointed me, though, at the end, because the last book he ever wrote was Only the Super Rich Can Save Us, which in a way might be true, but he was telling everybody, you just got to write these rich people, the Warren Buffetts. He said, if anyone comes to them with the right idea, they want to save the world too. But I kind of doubt that, so he might have been wrong about that one, but go ahead.
There must be some good in the world. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here in our nice homes enjoying, food for the day and good clothing. And we do have a bit of freedom and stuff. I wonder who's I guess it's just.
Yeah. The rulers, exactly. The people who rule over us, they're not entirely evil, right? They want to control and be in power, but they realize to control, once upon a time to control, they thought all you could do is go in and kill everybody and say, bow down or we'll kill you. Eventually they realize, there's a better way to rule over people. Kind of like, coax them into the system, give them some, some circus games and throw them a little tasty food here and there and, let them have a titty bar over here and, yes. So, that's the world we live in. They figured out how to make a world that people are like, well, I know I'm a slave, but these Cheetos are really good, and I love watching the Cowboys, and strip bar on the weekend and some beers. But at the same time, none of the. It doesn't necessarily make them good either. It's just they're the ultimate manipulators, and they came up with the most clever plan ever for how to control humanity.
It's kind of like the IRS, I think. They're stealing 50%, for example, of your paycheck, but they know they can't steal 60, 70, 80. There'll come a point when if they try to take 100% of your paycheck, you're going to get the people, one of the founding fathers, I think, had a quote that said, the people is a great beast. And there is, if you try to take 100% of people's your taxes, you're going to get, like in China, they try, once you start welding people into a high rise and setting them on fire, then even the Chinese government gets some pushback from the people. So,
right.
But anyways, I was just kind of curious about Coach Prime because I'm a big fan of his and he seems like a good guy. And I'm going to be interested to see what he does at Colorado University. They were 1-11. They can't get any worse. And, it just seems to me, is he in there or somebody's pulling his strings and he's part of this whole scam, or is he actually playing real football? Stuff like that. So I'll be following along, and I appreciate your show, man. Thanks for letting me on.
I will definitely do a follow-up post on that because I've been meaning to do it anyway. So I'm glad you asked me to look into that. So thank you.
All right, Jack. Thank you, bud. Have a good day, man. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Doug. Yeah, you too. Thank you. Take care, man. Yeah, Doug makes some great points there. And again, you guys, the people who rule over us are the master manipulators. Before I get off, I got to let Itachi on. What's up, Itachi?
What's up, Zach? Thanks for letting me on, man. Just wanted to, kind of explain again why I wasn't in New York for 9/11. Got into a pretty bad car accident. That's why you saw me post the new car. Luckily, the insurance paid me more than I bought that car for in 2020. But it was just a big unforeseen thing. And I want to, make a promise here on the stream. If you do go out to LA for Kobe's birthday or, the death date, just because of, the synchronicity, and that's how I found the work and, just how everything lines up. I would definitely be out there for that. I would meet you in LA. It'll be nice to get out there in late January. But yeah, just want to clear up, what happened with that. And I know you mentioned I was in London a few weeks earlier before that. That was a family vacation. So it's not like, oh, let me take all this savings and go to London. But, so that just want to clear up that. But yeah, are you thinking about, doing that trip down there?
Well, I appreciate that. And I have a feeling it's going to end up happening. I'll let everybody know at the very beginning of the year if it's a yay or a nay. But I feel like it needs to happen. The 3-year anniversary of the Kobe death. I could see it being impactful. And LA is not a bad place to be in January. So.
Yeah, it's funny they play on 24/1, the two LA teams, right? Los Angeles 53. But another thing I wanted to. Yep, number 24 as well. But another thing I wanted to, quickly bring up, the school I went to and stuff. I, became good friends with this kid who's his father, invested in the Red Sox in the 80s. And, they're minority owners. They used to also have AS Roma and stuff. But, just nicest house I've ever been in. He's showing me that, he's texting Tom Brady's dad and stuff, the guy's father. But just diehard Patriots, Red Sox fans and stuff. It's funny. The kids still ask me for the sports picks and stuff because I'll show them the Astros 666, the Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panthers. And, to a degree, they're like, this is undeniable. And it's hitting and we know more about baseball, but we're on the other side. But yeah, it was just funny watching the Patriots game with this family. And I don't know if you remember the Minnesota Patriots game and how the Patriots just got embarrassed. But, it was just funny to see someone like that in the ownership light. I know it's a minority owner. It's not like the, billionaire who owns the Red Sox, but, closer to 100 million than 1 million, just very wealthy off the rig sports. And long story short, just like acting like the game's real the whole time. So I just want to bring that to you. I know like we talk about, is everyone 100% on it? And it's just like, okay, if he knows that the Red Sox games are rigged, how is this guy not, acting the same way with the Patriots? And I don't know, just something that was interesting to me that I'm like, okay, who else would be a better person to bring this kind of story or thought to? So that was just something that recently happened to me over Thanksgiving.
Interesting as always. Yeah, for people who don't know, this is Itachi. Caller earlier was talking about Itachi helping him out with the home run and other player props. Itachi's been on the work since Kobe's death, and he's also improved his financial position through the knowledge. So,
yep.
Great work, Itachi.
Man, thank you. Thanks, Zach. I'll let you get off here. Appreciate it. See ya.
Yeah, and by the way, Itachi also gets trolled by that loser. he even attacks Itachi. Apparently he thinks Itachi's a bad guy because on a stream he was having a little nose candy. He was just celebrating one of his big wins. And again, it's just like, and that's just what makes me think that guy's like a Fed agent. It's like, why do you care? I mean, be careful with the nose candy though. It is expensive and it will raise your blood pressure. Weed's definitely a lot healthier. If you don't know what nose candy is, it's probably better that way. But man, I just can't get off the stream. People want to come on here. All right, fine. You want to come on? You get to come on too, Samuel. I got to get off this thing, but what's up, Samuel?
Hi, Zach, man. My name's Samuel. Yeah, I'm 23 from London, yeah. I'm the person that was mentioning to you about a UK rapper called Central C and the ritual with him for LeBron. I don't want to say much here, but I'm finishing up a crazy blog post that will blow your mind. We need to talk. I'm going to try to finish it by the weekend, but we need to talk somewhere else, not here, because it's too, you know what I mean? Like, you hear me?
Okay. Central C, June 4th, 98.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
okay.
Trust me, don't want to say much here, but we're gonna have another conversation somewhere else, and we can really chop it up properly. Because got a crazy decode for you, bro. A couple new techniques, even show you how to calculate who the beast is. All kinds of, trust me. Like, we're gonna talk somewhere else, not here, but we're gonna talk.
All right, well, here, you guys, I'm going to end this stream. Stay in the room, Central or Samuel, because when I end the stream, then it's just us in the room still, and you can still talk to me and tell me what you want to know. But I do need to get off, you guys. Thank you to everyone who hit the like and the share. Thank you to the people who sent the tips during the stream. Some very generous donations. I do appreciate it. And again, congrats to the winners, you guys. And for all the guys who continue to sit on the fence, again, I mean, it's not a joke what I'm putting out here, what Victor's putting out, what Atachi's putting out, what all of us are putting out. Again, we're giving you guys a world-class education for pennies on the dollar, and you could be improving your financial position. You could also be breaking out of the matrix and stop wasting your money going to the game and paying for the overpriced tickets and the beers and all that stuff. All right, Truth Seeker. Till next time. And yeah, hang in here, Samuel.
All right.